a second. Okay, we are live. Let's jump into our chat and get them posted up. Give me just a second. All right, go to my channel. All right. Oh, weird. There's no sound on that. That's odd. Okay, I know my sound's okay though. I'm sure you guys can hear me, but I can't see chat until I see my live stream. Where's my live stream? Well, we got good coverage tonight on your channel. Why aren't my lives showing up? Oh, there it is. Well, that's weird. Usually it shows up on my front page. All right. Got that. Let's pop chat out. Pop out. There we go. Oh, right. We already got a bunch of people. KJ. Sorry, not KG. KJ. What's up? Nisbet, what's up? All right. All right. KJ. KJ, are you new to the stream? If so, welcome. Love seeing new people join. Adam, what's up, dude? Welcome back. Nisbet, I remember your last name because I had a friend back in elementary school who had the same last name, so I remember your name. Give me just a second here. Let me do chat capture so you guys can see yourselves. Please. All right, chat. That should be the right one. There we go. We're good to go. KJ, I love to see you're doing good, man. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Aaron, welcome back. Mike Co. Everybody sit back, relax, and enjoy popcorn because we are about to be educated. Whoa. Well, Mike, thank you. That's like kind of a flattering thing to say. I never really thought of me as like, well, I guess I'd tell you some stuff about Japan. I am a teacher. I always think of art, though, when I'm thinking of educating people. I feel like my YouTube stuff is kind of just like, do you enjoy it? Good, it's entertainment. Go ahead. Jump up here if you want to. You're not getting any chicken, though. Go ahead. Go ahead, you big fat baby. Ooh, what did you get on your... You got some stuff on your fur. Go ahead. Go ahead. Give him just a second. He's taking a while to make up his mind. Go ahead. Go ahead. What, do I have to pick you up? Go. Go ahead. Okay. I'm not sure. Are you just hoping I drop some chicken or what? Anyway, sorry I'm eating while I stream. Always a little rude to listen to me munch and crunch. I hope I'm not too edumacated. That's a better one, Aaron. Thank you. Oh, nice, man. Oh, dude, thanks for sticking with me for so long, KJ. That's always like super. I mean, that's a big motivation is when I see people have been around for 10 plus years. I've got the plaque from when I actually had 100K. You know, I've got the channel, I've got the subscribers, but the effort really feels worth it when you have people tell you stuff like this. When they tell you, I've been around for 10 years, and they're excited just to catch a live. Like, that's like, okay, then this has all been worth it. Someone stuck with me that long. I must have had at least one or two good things to say, and people have enjoyed it. And if I've done anything to educate, entertained, brighten your day or anything like that, then it's all been worth it. Learning, I did not sign up for that. I did not either. But now this is going to just be like a online class. I've got a lot of tests. I'm using AI that will check if you're just getting your projects done by Gemini. No. Ikram, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a while, man. I'm glad to see you back. Hey, Ikram, I wanted to give you an update. We're moving around all of the mods, okay? So if you see mod status changed, the only reason is because we are looking for now to specifically set people into mod positions that are connected to different parts of the Discord. As it's grown quite a bit. We've just added a bunch of bots, and we're looking to put people into what they specifically, I guess it would be a mix of either you feel like you're good at that, like that's your forte, or if you prefer it or you've already done it and you're like really good at it. But don't worry, your mod status has only been changed temporarily. When we figure out where you're going to either personally want to go or personally feel like you fit, we're going to get you in there, and you're going to be the mod for that area. This is mostly just because when we went back into the mod selection, we had actually quite a few at the beginning who had joined but have never come back. We also had people who mostly just stuck to one room, which is totally okay. Like, we appreciate it nonetheless. Any help is welcome because you're literally doing it for free, and you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. But what we notice is we're like, well, if they're always in this place or enjoy being in this one the most, for example, like Jonah's always in like the movies and TTRPG, so he's definitely the biggest mod of that stuff. And then we had other people who were like big into the conspiracy stuff, for example, Shogun, and like we want him to be like the master mod of that one because that is his forte. We want to find out what you're best with. So Ikram, DM me, get with me on finding out where you're like, what have you most enjoyed while you've been doing Discord or being on here talking with us? Let us know, bud. Lovely paintings you post. Thanks for sharing your work with us. It's inspiring to see real art. Thank you. Waynetta. Am I saying that right? Waynetta? It's inspiring to hear such a comment. Like, I don't know, I don't take my art overly serious. Like, obviously I'm not some sort of well-known or well-versed or decadent artist full of years of acclaim. But even just to hear myself be taken serious as an artist is a very, very big compliment for me. For me, and again, sorry for chomping down, but this is my first chance to eat today, like anything. For me, the biggest thing is, money's great. I love, of course, making money. I'd be lying if I didn't about selling art. But I'm not at a point where I can charge, like thousands and thousands for my wonderful pieces. So getting them out there, getting them into people's houses, making them also to say thank you, especially to the people who helped me during the hurricane, has been just wonderful. I'm painting. I'm doing what I want with art. I'm enjoying it. I'm not, the guy in Florida who has to paint 100 golf courses to sell his art. I'm doing what I want to do, but I'm also able to sell it and get into people's houses. All right, perfect. Okay, great, Waynetta. All right, Discord link for everybody, guys. If you want the experience here tonight to go far beyond just us in a stream. Oh, sorry, buddy. Just bopped my cat on the nose. Then join in that Discord. We are pretty active these days. It started out as kind of low energy, I'll say, especially when I was dumb enough to only make it members only. That was kind of a waste of time. It is fully open to everybody. We are still putting mods on board. We're actually getting to a point where we specify where mods should be, what they're modding, and we've got bots involved now that are helping us add a bunch of extra helpful things to it. So now's the best time to join, especially if you enjoy any kind of conversation or anything we have tonight. Anyway, Japan. It's crazy. Oh, I wanted to announce that I, just as of last week, have hired my own personal Japanese tutor. God, I got so much stuck in my teeth. I hate it. It drives me nuts. Only thing I hate about biting into chicken, getting it stuck in your teeth. Blech. I have my own personal tutor. I'm using Preply. What is it called? Let me look at the app's name. Yeah, Preply, which I've got to say, pretty convenient. I was kind of like, I don't know. But I've gotten a tutor via Preply. Went through my first lesson and set up my next couple of months of lessons after that. My main focus is just improving my grammar and my tango, which is, your vocabulary. For example, I just recently learned, and probably some people are going to laugh at me, Jiji Mondai, current events or current topics, Jiji Mondai. Those of you who understand Japanese will find it humorous to know. I thought Jiji Mondai were like old people problems before I realized it meant current events. So my teacher is helping me with that, and just become more and more fluent. My wife suggested it. I don't Discord. I have too many things already in my life to keep up with, but I'll be here when I am. Oh yeah, Aaron, just so you know, I only can jump in there. Like I literally jump in there on the weekends. Once in a great while during the week, I pop in there for one reply, but yeah, I can't. I can only do so much. Definitely during the week, I have almost zero. I have pretty much zero time for Discord. Love everybody in there. The people I have that I work with in there, I've pretty much become like close friends at this point. They're lovely. But oh my God. Aaron, you understood that the Gigi Mondai? I was just like, whoops. I'll never forget the worst thing I ever did. I said, Anata no seikatsu wa nani? Like, what kind of lifestyle do you live? Like, what do you do with your free time and stuff like that? And one time I tried to ask, I was like, oh, that's interesting that they do that. What do they do at night? So I said, Anata no yoru no seikatsu nani? And apparently that's like asking intimate questions, like what is your intimate life like? I was like, they're like, oh no, you can't ask that. You can't. I'm like, oh, whoops. Did not realize that. So this is why I'm getting a personal tutor. I don't want to end up asking people really personal stuff, or I want to ask. The main thing is I want to understand when people are talking about the news, when they're talking about more complex subjects such as politics or science. I really get lost. That's where I really start to get lost. My grammar falls apart. My questions fall apart. Sometimes when people ask me like what I'm up to, it's hard for me to explain complex emotions and complex activities. Like if I was going to say, oh, well, currently I'm doing a study in which I follow a lot of the artwork of Kevin Riddick because I enjoy his very pus face type drawings that were done for things like Metallica in the past and other death metal bands, which if I were to suddenly translate that into Japanese, I would be like, me do art? Me like art name guy Kevin? Me do art like Kevin? Like that's kind of how I sound right now. Like everyone's like, oh, good for you. You're a good boy. Thank you. So what do you do at night when you are completely alone? I don't know. One time I said that. I said, Anata no yoru no shikatsu nani suru? And they were like, no, that sounds like really nasty. And I was like, whoa, really? They're like, yeah, it's like, what do you do between the sheets and stuff? And I was like, oh, that's not what I'm just trying to ask if you go to a club or a bar or something. Like, Gianmarco Agazzoli. Yo, hugs from Italy. Oh, maybe I said that right then. Maybe I came close. I remember stumbling upon your channel years ago, and the mood you did set was unreal. Such a cool channel and person. Caught up with it recently and still loving it. Thank you, Gianmarco. I really appreciate it. I just had my earbud fly out of my ear. Hold on, give me just a second. Hold on. Got it now. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you. That's such a nice compliment. Oh, you guys are. I swear, I always say it. I've got the best viewers ever. I don't have the most subscribers. I don't get the most views. I'm not mega popular. I never made it big. But what I got was the best viewers that exist on YouTube. So thank you so much. That's very nice of you. Again, like I said, things like that are what keep me motivated and keep me doing this. If it wasn't for stuff like this over the years, I don't know if I'd still be doing it. Let's get into some updates. Let's see what's going on. I've been trying to follow the Masahito Nakai situation. God, I got a bad case of the burps. Come on, chill. Every time I try to talk, it's coming back. The Masahito Nakai situation, which, still a very sketchy situation. Almost got my name right. Almost. If I ever get it, you can always phonetically correct me. Just like show me how I should say it phonetically. I always want to do my best. Julio, thank you for joining. I think you're another new person here. So how am I getting so many new people tonight? This is interesting. Well, thank you to both of you, Gianmarco and Julio, for joining tonight. I always love to see new faces. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Masahito Nakai, let's see if there's been any update. Aaron, have you heard of any update on this so far? Aside from the big CEOs stepping down, I haven't heard much. January. The latest update is January 27th. Are you kidding me? Come on, give me something better than that. 11 days ago, 12 days ago. See, I feel like I'll bet you if I had. No. Psh, psh. More. No February news whatsoever about Masahito. Nakai, tell me I haven't been following it. Yeah, I talked about it on a stream you were on, I don't think not too long ago, but he pretty much, is a creep. It was found out that he was a complete criminal creep who essayed a female announcer, and it was hidden by Fuji TV until of all people, a shareholder that was an American company found out about that and completely cut ties. They were like, we don't want to do anything with you because you're hiding a criminal and this is disgusting. And after all the Japanese sponsors found out, they were like, hey, why did you lose that big American shareholder? And once they found out, they pulled out of advertising on Fuji TV to the point that Fuji TV has 0 advertisers. Like literally, it was that still the government safety messages were still playing on there, like, hey, look both ways before crossing the street. Even the government pulled ads. Like, that's insane. So it's like literally just back-to-back TV shows. There's no ads, there are no pauses in between. Nah, there's nothing new on it. So messed up. All right. Let's check for anything else new going on. And also, guys, any questions you have, been a subscriber for years now, too. Initially to learn about Japanese culture, but found I enjoyed your perspective on everything else you covered, too. First time here for live. Well, thank you, Winetta. That's so nice. I always wonder about that, too. When I cover stuff, I'm like, if I'm not talking about Japan, do people still want to listen to me? Like, thoughts, ideas, and what if they're a major shareholder, they could be liable, at least U.S. laws. Well, okay, I understand what you're talking about. That what I mean personally is I want to see if Nakai ever has to like face criminal charges. People are saying he's not going to have to because he paid off the woman who I don't want to say accused. He paid off the woman that was the victim. It's not accused. It's 100% fact. And some people are saying that overrides the fact that he did something criminal that would like put any other man in jail for ages. Which, if that's really true, then the Japanese legal system needs to get fixed real fast because that's messed up. It's not going to happen. Like I said, get fixed real fast. That never happens in Japan. Nothing gets fixed real fast. But if he really gets no criminal charges whatsoever and just completely gets away with it because he just gave her a bunch of money, that's crazy, dude. Like, how can anyone ever be safe? I'm doing good, Meadow. Thank you for asking. I'm feeling a million times better than last week. I was dying last week. Holy crap. I think I only streamed like one time, didn't I? Oh, I was like coughing up half my body, dude. Ugh. You got an article for me, Aaron? Let's see it. Do you have an email? Aaron, let's do this. I think if I give you mod status, which you don't actually have to work as a mod, don't worry about it. But I think if I give you mod status, you can literally post it in here. Unless you don't want to post it in here, in which case I'll not do that. My email is always the same. Oh, shoot. What did I just do? Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Hold on. The official unrested The official address. Did I type that right? Yeah, at gmail.com. I wish there was just like a button I could hit for the split fries. Welcome back. And also, Mr. Boot, glad to see 2 long-term viewers here. I should say long-term live viewers. You guys are the OGs. You guys started from the top. And now you're here. Awesome. But also in the future, Aaron, just to make everything easier for you. No, not hide. Add as moderator. Managing. Wait. Why is it not showing me the full thing? Hold on. That's so stupid. Okay, now you should be able to, if you ever want to, put links in chat. I don't think you're gonna try to get us to join your MLM or send horrible stuff to the chat ever. So, not yet. Try. Wait, hold on. Try one more time, Aaron. Wait, I think I modded you, didn't I? Oh, no, yeah. Try again, Aaron, because I just literally, as you just typed that, I was modding you in the middle. So, oh, man, in some way, I associate you and, there we go. See, perfect. It worked. Awesome. I associate you and your mood and old videos to so many good feelings. Oh, so cool to catch you live streaming, man. It feels like seeing an old friend. Dude, oh, man. Thank you. Like, okay, I totally get what you mean, where it's like, you can go back to an old video or like an old series you watched or a viewer, and it's like if there's good memories, just like music that you listen to that there's good memories attached to, when you go back and watch that or when you go back and join that, you feel all those good memories. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I give you the warm, wholesome feeling. That's so good. I love the fact that some people have me linked to that because, oh man, that's a good thing. Okay. Oldest human remains turn out to be bones of prehistoric bear. Oh. Fossilized bones hold on, let me make this a little bigger. Fossilized bones discovered decades ago and hailed at the time as the oldest human remains. Wait, so they thought it was a human, but it was a bear? Oh, okay. Maybe it's a lycanthrope. Guys, lycanthrope lovers here? Any lycanthrope? Sorry, the nerd in me just came out. Why is this here? Get off the screen. Give me a second. Let me get back to that article. Hold on. The Ushikawa remains were found in 1957, okay, at a quarry in the Ushikawa-cho district of Toyohashi. They were initially pronounced as dating to the middle. Oh, I've never pronounced this word in my life. Pleistocene era, which is 781,000 to 126,000 years ago. You know, you guys know that, right? You guys are probably, yeah. I'm just, yeah. And recorded as such in textbooks on the history of Japan. But by the 80s, researchers had become skeptical of the Ushikawa remains and if they were even human. With the help of Aiko Saso, an assistant professor of anthropology in Niigata University of Health and Welfare, the research team subjected the fossils to microscopic analysis and CT scanning. Fragments that were formerly believed to be the humerus and femur were compared with bones from 24 black and brown bears. All right, man. How? Just gotta find it means that. Wow, it's a bear. A bear from anywhere from 17,000 to 22,000 years ago. I wonder if it was like massive back then. With advanced dating, discoveries have been made, and many of them are found to either be from much later or not human at all. Nice. That's sick. Those kind of discoveries always kind of blow my mind when they find stuff like that old. You're like, how? How does it happen? Okay, that immediate 21 days in jail in Japan if you're arrested is madness. Stay out of trouble, guys. Dude, one of the worst stories I ever heard. Thank you. I would never post stupid stuff or block anyone unless they were being... Yeah, no, Aaron. I 100% try. I don't give mod away to just anybody. I totally know. Yeah, of course, of course. Um, exactly that good nostalgia feeling, dude. That's awesome. Um, hey, Alejandro, welcome back. Another long term. Alejandro, you're a mod on the. How have I done this? You're one of my main mods on the other, but you're not a mod here. Why are you not a mod here? Alejandro's been with us from like the first second we went live. How are you not? Ah, wait, I hit cancel. Dang it. This is so stupid. Like, look, I can't hit unless I have to make the chat big. Like, how dumb is that? Wait. Oh, that's why. Okay, I was like, wait, why can't I do that? How are you not a moderator? You're a moderator on our main Discord. Well, you don't have to, like, okay, again, if I make people moderators, it's number one, I know they've been for a while and they post stuff that helps the stream or they do stuff that helps the stream. I give it to people who I know they've been with me forever, pretty much, as long as the stream's been going. Yeah, and that's why I broke my right elbow last week. Oh no, Meadow, I'm sorry. That's brutal. I had one of the librarians I work with at my school did the same thing. She broke her elbow, and it was not a fun time for her trying to put all the books back in the library with one arm. A lot of work. And she's still doing rehab for it to this day. Okay, well, gosh, get well soon, Meadow. Gosh, okay. I hope it doesn't give you like a lot of trouble after it heals. She always deals with like a lot of like, I don't know, just elbow pain. Okay. Let's get into this though. I want to Zoop Nai, welcome back. I remember you. How many tattoos do I have? Let's see. One. Is this two? Because this goes all the way from here, like it goes all the way up to my chest and like down. Two. I got my thighs that I tattooed myself. 3, 4. Only 4. Although it covers quite a bit of my body. I don't know, it's just like it's a sleeve, so I don't know how to count it. Like it goes all the way through my arm. Yeah, no problem at all. I didn't notice I wasn't a mod. Wait, did you get unmodded? That's what I was, because like I was thinking like you've been a mod. Like do you think you've been unmodded? If can another mod unmod another mod? That's weird. Yeah, I could have sworn I modded you before. Like I was shocked right now when I was like, wait, how? I don't know. Oh, anyway, at 2 a.m. Okay, yeah, get some rest. All right. Oyasumi. Story LMO. Okay. Let's get to the story. Sorry. Hey, Mark, welcome back. Okay, let's get back to the story. Okay, so, as who said it? Who said it? You're in big trouble. No, I'm just joking. No one's in trouble. Who was it? Who said the thing about like when you get arrested? Now I'm having trouble finding my own stuff. There it is. Mr. Boot. Okay. Carlos, what's up? Yeah, right? Jonah, I know for sure you haven't touched anything on that's so she was a mod before, right? That is crazy. Well, honestly, if I were to blame anyone, I've had people have notifications get turned off. I've had people be unsubbed. I've had people be knocked off members lists. And I mean, you know who did it? YouTube. So I'm not about to put it past YouTube for just being like, oh, maybe she don't want to be mod now. Bye. Like I know none of us did it. Yeah, you were a mod. Okay, I thought so. That's crazy. How could that happen? How could you? I don't know. I actually haven't unmodded anybody from the actual chat. Okay, sorry. Let's get on to this story. 21 days in jail. I think it's 21. So this is a story of when I was living there in Japan. There was a guy in the countryside of Japan where apparently I guess the police there were pretty racist. Although, I don't know, this guy also kind of made a big mistake by not traveling with his Gaijin card. Anytime you are out and about as a Gaijin in Japan, you need to have either one or two of these things with you. You either need to have your passport with you or your Gaijin card, also known as Gaikokujin no Menkyo. You need to have that with you. It's pretty much like a driver's license, but you don't get to drive with it. You just get to say, hey, look, I'm a Gaijin foreigner, okay? And if anybody's about to tell me, hey, don't say Gaijin, that's racist, then please unsub and disappear. No, I always hate that. Aaron, have you ever had anybody say that to you? You can't say Gaijin, that's racist. It's like, what? He's out in the middle of the countryside. He's literally just going to meet his wife at work, and he's on his way walking there, and the police pull over and stop him. And I've told you my own stories about the police just randomly stopping me and searching me. And they're like, hey, where are you going? And he's like, I'm headed to just see my wife at work. And they're like, all right, that's fine, but let's go ahead and get your stats. You can bring out that Gaijin card. And he's like, I just left it at my apartment. And they're like, not good, not good, not good. And he's like, I have a feeling he probably, it doesn't say this in the article about him, but he was probably like, fuck you. I just want to take a goddamn walk. He probably got really lippy, I imagine. But he was like, look, I don't got it. If you want to take me back to my apartment, we can go get it there. And they're like, no, you're supposed to be traveling with it. You're going to jail. So they took him to jail. Apparently the closest jail was like 2 hours away from this tiny little country town, which makes sense because you wouldn't have a giant jail in the middle of like nowhere. Actually, maybe you would. Why don't they do that? Anyway, I think it was like all the way back in like Tokyo or something like that. And so he's 2 hours away. He's put into a holding cell, and Japan has the right to keep you for 21 days. To make you like answer any questions, to interrogate you, to poke holes into any kind of lies you're telling or anything like that. And is it fair? No, it's really not. It's kind of I want to say it's like abusive. It's like not fair. It's not a good justice system at all. And when people always ask me, like, how is there a 99% conviction rate? This is how. Put someone into 21 days of any kind of hell, and they'll eventually break. So this is pretty much what they did. He's not in solitary confinement, but he's in jail. Like he's, eating jail food, which is like, I think like a bowl of rice or something, like 3 times a day. You just get like a little bit of rice and stuff. It's bad. And they don't let him call his wife. His wife finds out where he's at. She has to hire a lawyer. She has to travel 2 hours every time she wants to see him. She has to like do all this stuff, and he eventually gets out. Like they eventually let him out, and they're like, "Hey, don't forget your Gaijin card next time." And he can't do anything. He can't sue them. He can't, because they put him in jail for something that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to be walking around without your Gaijin card. Now, of course, they didn't get anything major on him. They didn't find any like drugs or anything like that. They were probably hoping they did, I guess, or like maybe he just gave them such an awful time that they're like, all right, fuck you, we'll take you to jail, bitch. And maybe that's what happened. But this guy was stuck in prison. Like he lost his job. He couldn't pay his bills. His wife had to take time out of her own day, which she worked a job as well, just to be able to see him. And I mean, it was just they made his life as hellish as they could, simply because he forgot his Gaijin card. Is it fair? Again, no, I don't think so. It's way too much of an impact for such a small mistake. Now, for the most part, this is not something common. Most police would be like, "Oh, you have it at home? All right, yeah, let's just go to your house and get it. Show me." Like, the thing is, I've never forgotten my Gaijin card, so I've never run into the situation where someone was like, "Why aren't you carrying it?" Have I? The only other crazy thing I had is the girl I was dating at the time, I rode her bicycle and you're supposed to be on the bicycle that is yours. Like it's registered like a car. And they're like, "Why are you riding Do I forget what her last name was, Leson or something like that. I know her first name was Emily. I can remember that. But I mean, this is over 16, 17 years ago. Um, and they're like, "Why are you riding a Deson's bike?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's my girlfriend." And they're like, "This." And so I helped them pronounce the last name. And after I did that, like I'm like, "It's pronounced like this." And they're like, "Oh, okay. So if we call her right now, she'll say it's her bike." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Here's her phone number. Go ahead and call." And they're after that, they're kind of like, "Does she speak Japanese?" I'm like, "No." um, and so they kind of gave up. They're just kind of like, "All right, well, next time ride your own bike." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, sorry." Like mine was like, I think mine was getting the tire replaced because it got a puncture. I was like, "That's the only reason I'm riding it." And they're like, "Okay, but next time ride your own bike." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, thanks, guys. Good work, guys. You busted a kindergarten teacher today. Good work, good work." And I gave him a pat on the back and asked their boss if he'd give him a raise. But I mean, that's the closest I ever came to getting in some kind of trouble. Yeah, but you always got to carry that ID, man. I've never ever thought about stepping out of the house. Yeah, I don't know. It's the same thing as like when you drive. You don't drive without your driver's license, right? Um, I guess it's the ADHD person in me. Like if there's stuff that has to like literally be attached to you at all times, I create a way to attach it to me at all times. Like my wallet is connected to my cell phone. So when I put my cell phone in my pocket, I already have everything in my wallet. And that way I can never forget it. Um, are these shoes you're wearing yours, sir? Well, do you see any other Japanese people wearing size 13? No. I had a friend who wears size 13 and he just never found shoes in Japan. I would literally go to stores with him and they'd be like, "Oh, you are here looking for shoes." And he's like, "No, my friend is." And they're like, "What about you?" He's like, "You got any size 13?" And they're like, "I like it. It's a good joke, American joke, right? Size 13." They thought that was like insane. I remember them always laughing about that. Is this wheelchair yours? Yeah, that would be funny. You had to register it like a bike because it has wheels. That'd be kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, don't do that. And yeah, they really can put you in there for 21 days with like no outside source whatsoever. Although I will say, and this is one thing I'll never fully understand. I've told you the story about my friend, well, my ex-friend. He's not my friend anymore. Um, Pretty much a guy who went down a really downward spiral, got into like drugs in Japan, which is like insane to me. Um, he started hanging out with like a really rough crowd of like tattoo artists who were like addicted to meth, more or less. And apparently, like he started dealing in it himself, and like I guess he was like I don't know if he was addicted or what was going on because I he got so weird that I was just like okay, you're just being like he was just an asshole pretty much, and so I disconnected from him completely. And one day, one of his friends, that's also a mutual friend of me, asked, was like, "Hey, have you seen him?" I'm like, "No." I said, "We had like a falling out like months ago." He's like, "Well, he's missing, and his parents are coming to Japan to look for him." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, even though I'd had a falling out with him, I was still worried about. I was like, I don't want him to like die. Um, so I said, "All right, man, give me the details. Let me know what I can do, and if I have to use my channel to help, search for this guy, I will. I don't want to see anything bad happen to him." And then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna get right back to you." And he like did some research and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, I found out what happened. He's not missing anymore, but his lawyer just called me and is asking me to give him some information." So somehow he had been arrested. The police had been like looking for him, so he was like in hiding. He was just like trying to avoid the police. And apparently, I guess he just finally turned himself in because he was like, I don't know. I'll never know the full story, but within the first 4 or 5 days that he was arrested, taken into jail, he was able to get a lawyer, and then the lawyer was able to talk the police into deporting him instead of putting him in jail. And then he's like banned from Japan forever. So, well, I guess not, I don't know if it's forever. It's at least 10 years though. But hey, he's doing okay now. Last time I checked, I think he's like doing some kind of like dental assistant work or something like that. So good for him. I'm glad he turned his life around. Anyway, sorry for that crazy. What is going on? Wait, LL was going to ask if that was no, no, no. Honestly, Tokyo Sam would never do something so stupid. Tokyo Sam would, he would never, never. I don't think Sam would ever do anything that dumb. I don't know everything Sam does. I try to reach out to him once in a while, but Sam's got me blocked on everything, so I can't really keep up with him. Um, you know, as always, I wish him the best, man. I see his streams are going really well. I think he makes a decent bit of coin off of that, so I'm happy for him. But as far as like his personal life, I don't get a lot of nitty gritty anymore. We're not, I'd be more than happy to be friends and be close knit again, but he hates me. He hates me eternally, and I can't do anything about that. Carolyn, welcome. Glad he got help. Yeah, me too, Carolyn. That's always a good one. No, it was great. Wait, why are you blocked? I missed that story. We got into like a fight a long time ago where he invited me into a chat room, started like kind of like belittling me in the chat room, so I lashed back. I said some pretty mean stuff. And I shouldn't have. I should have held my tongue, but I let emotion get the best of me. And he kicked me from that room. I got booted from that room. And of course, I sent him a few more choice words where I was pretty pissed, but I was just like, fine, whatever. Calm down, was kind of over it. And then after that, someone else who really hated Sam made a website in which he called out Sam. Like it wasn't really a call out because Sam had never really done anything too egregious. But this website was created that called Sam racist or something like that. It called him and Kanada Jin and I forget, Jake Nolan, I think was his name. Jake Nolan, and there's one other guy, Josh something. And Lex, Rising Gaijin, who I definitely remember. And it said like they're like racist against black people and stuff like this. Like just to let you know, Kanada Jin did a video where she wore blackface. So I mean, I don't think she actually did it because she's racist. I think she did it because she didn't understand the meaning behind it. And I don't know if you remember, but Sam used to say he definitely used the N-word quite a bit, and would always say this, like all these kind of weird things about black people. None of it was like racist, but like it's just kind of like stuff you just, it's not good to say. Maybe he was just joking all the time, but I think he really got on somebody's nerves because I was blamed for this, though. I was blamed for this website. And this is where Sam has hated me forever. I never made this website. In fact, to prove I never made it, I had my team at the time called the Unrest team. One guy in there is like, brilliant computer IT engineer type software guy. And he did this thing where like he could send a message to the creator of the website. And if they clicked on the link, it would show like all this information about where it was made, who made it, what time it was made, where it's made. And apparently it tied back to a Black Lives Matter organization in West Virginia, and it was made on an Android phone. And so I gave Sam this information. I said, look, like I had somebody track down this. This is to prove like I have nothing to do with this website. He's never believed me. He still thinks to this day that I made this website. And actually all the other people who were on the website, they knew I never made it. Like even Kanada Jin knows. She's like, yeah, I know you have nothing to do with that. Like even she was like, everybody else, like they knew I had nothing to do with it. They took my information, researched it themselves and were like, oh, you're right. Like this all matches up. The time that it was made, the time that it came out, all the time. But he's to this day, apparently he still thinks I made the website. So he's blacklisted me since then. I'm banned on everything. Yeah, I hate that stuff when you get blamed for something you had no part in from someone that doesn't like you. I mean, uh, you know, it sucks. Um, I don't think there's any way I can fix that. At the same time, I shouldn't have lashed out in such a way where I made everything so prickly. The person who made it, I know who made it. Actually, I found out later. It was one of Sam's friend who is a black guy named Ty, and this guy made it immediately, like after all this went down. Um, and I've been blamed for it ever since. And this dude made it, and I don't think Sam will ever believe me. And I don't know how else. I showed him all the website information. I've even later when I found out actually who did made it, the person who did, because I didn't find out that until way later. Um, I told him this is the guy who made it and still blocked on everything. So, well, that guy didn't make it totally by himself, but he was one of the makers of it. Yeah. No, I understand why he made it. I mean, to 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 be frank, I mean, Sam was kind of, he would say some like really, I, you know, I want to say joking. He would joke a lot about black stereotypes, quote unquote, and I guess like he's one of those people. He had like a lot of black friends, and he thought it would be okay to do that. I mean, I don't know. That is a really subjective situation as far as what you're. I don't care how many black friends I have. I would never ever think it's okay for me to like drop the N bomb or, say like stereotypical things. It's not cool. But I feel like it was mostly harmless what he was saying and stuff like that. Like he wasn't out to be racist, but I think he was inconsiderate with a lot of stuff he would say. If that makes sense. I don't know. I mean, whatever. Whatever. Shogunai, nothing can be done. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, Mark, you're right when you say some people are strange in their thinking. There's some things your mind will never wrap around, and over time I've just come to learn that just there's no way I can understand why he continues to think that. There's no way I can explain to him why it's not me, and there's no way I can change the situation because my mind can't wrap around how he's still stuck in that idea. But whatever. Sam is not racist. He's just very poor at communicating and understanding boundaries. There you go. Yeah. Understanding boundaries and um, knowing the time and the place to say something. Um, Sam has a good heart. I've seen him do stuff that is like really good. Um, I've seen him be there for a person who was in the JVlog community who was seriously thinking about, deleting themselves. And him and another friend of mine at the time were the first people to rush to that guy's house and talk him down. So there is a really good heart and good person inside of Sam. And, no matter how he can or can't be aware or acknowledge his language, I think over time, and look, I've watched some of his streams lately and he's doing like a lot of reaction videos. Sam has definitely like become a lot more empathetic with what he's watching. He's become a lot more positive, and kind of stripped away some of the barriers he used to hold up, kind of the guard he used to put up all the time. And I feel like he is um, really starting to get a better concept of like what's appropriate and what's not appropriate when it comes to conversations. But um, he's definitely he's definitely had some crap done to him that is like not fair at all. Like for example, when he helped that one guy get out of jail or something, like I forget what happened when there was this guy who like got himself into jail because someone sent him weed in the mail. And Sam helped get this guy's story out there and everything, and apparently that guy just like ditched him ASAP after he got a bunch of help. Like that guy got a bunch of help from Sam, and then one day Sam was like, let's hang out. And the guy was like, no, I don't want to be associated with you anymore. Like you're bad news. And Sam was just like, yo, what? And that guy kind of really betrayed Sam. So I think that kind of adds to the chip on his shoulder. And if you're wondering, I'm not telling you like personal information, like Sam made a video about this. I bet you there's more to the story, I'm sure. But if a dude helps you get out of jail, like they're they're allowed to have quite a bit of faux pas before you completely cut them off entirely. I think that was a bit hasty of that guy to do. Yeah, exactly. Sam broke down and like he was literally like crying when Swan died. Iwate Swan. So, like I said, there is a really good person. There's a good heart inside of Sam, and I don't doubt that. Um, I know he's got like genuinely a good moral compass inside. But again, and I think he's gotten much better at this. There's just been times where he has said stuff kind of around people where you're like, I don't know if I would speak that way or talk that way. About certain races, about females, about, like within the presence of other people who are not comfortable with that. Um, and that's not my place or really anyone else's place to tell him how to or how not to speak. That is something for Sam to learn himself. And there is nothing I can say or do to help with that. That is a self-learned thing. You know, we've all been there to some extent, to some level, where we did not realize what was appropriate at times or how we could more politely approach a subject, how to judge and kind of prepare to make sure we don't trigger certain aspects. There's definitely parts of us that we've had to learn to do that, and Sam's just had to learn in different ways, and we can't, you know, um, I can't be angry at him. I wish him all the best. I wish him nothing but success, honestly. I think his live streams are far more successful than mine, if we were to compare such a thing. I think he makes a decent chunk of change. I think he has way more. Does he have more viewers? I'm not sure. But he's done a really good deal with his stuff. So again, all the power to him, and I wish him all the best. Yeah, his name is Mark, and he betrayed Sam so badly. He was even making sure. Wait, hold on. This is interesting because I never got to hear the full story, so I'm really interested to hear. Because when I heard that, when Sam made the video, but like, first of all, I felt bad that he was so downtrodden after having helped this guy. The guy had such a great success story to tell, and quite frankly, he owed quite a bit of that success story to Sam. Sam really was there for a guy in a pinch. All right. Yeah, his name is Mark, and he betrayed Sam so badly. He was even making sure Mark would keep contact with his family back in the US once he was cleared. He told Sam, peace out. He even found him the lawyer. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sam got him the lawyer that got him out of jail. And then he's like, apparently he's completely cut ties. And honestly, I would like to interview the guy himself to hear his side of it as well, because I know there's two sides and then a third side, which is the actual truth. From what I heard, the guy tried to like break out on his own and make a YouTube living, like make a career out of YouTube, which I would never advise anyone to make the goal of being YouTube your main income a goal. If it happens naturally and you get very, very lucky, cool. But yeah, I felt bad for Sam on that one because that was not cool. I was careless. I was carrying Manan in one hand and my phone in the other when I slipped and fell down the stairs to my room. Oh no, Metal. I'm sorry, dude. That had to freaking hurt. Ugh. Well, like I said, Metal, man, I hope that heals up good. I hope it heals up stronger than before. Rehab works out okay and everything, because man, an elbow injury can be rough. Ah, horse kick. Okay, hold on. everyone's learning at their own pace and from their own experience. We all have shit to work on. Yes, Alejandra, exactly. Well put. Well put. There is still, many things I need to learn myself with interactions socially and things like that. Now, let's get on to Horse Kick's great question here. Japan investing 1 trillion in US. Thoughts? Okay, so Horse Kick, I think what you're talking about is the giant amount of military stuff that they've just ordered. Apparently, Japan has ordered over $1 billion in military defense, weapons. I don't know everything they ordered. I didn't look at some kind of billing list, but apparently they just bought a ton of military equipment from America, which part of me says I totally understand with assholes like North Korea across the pond. And even sometimes some of the bullshit China pulls with, I think it's called the Senkaku Islands, if I'm correct. I may or may not have that name right. But, China's always doing bullshit where they scramble jets over those islands and be like, oh, look, we own these. That's why we've got, and like, Japan's literally owned them post World War II by like treaties signed post World War II. And China wants to keep threatening them about this. On top of it, they also have some stuff up in Hokkaido, which people never really hear much about, but Russia does the same thing to some islands that Japan owns up in Hokkaido. And if you're wondering, if you're like, why? These are like little micro islands. Like, what the hell does China and Russia care? Well, they don't. What they care about is the fact that there's fish around there they want to grab, and there's oil around there they want to grab. That's what they're after. They don't care about like, but wait, there's so much cultural stuff there that we love. It's ours. There's nothing built there. It's pretty much vacant. I think the Senkaku Islands have finally started to have a base start to get built there because they're kind of just sick of China bullying them. And then you've got assholes like North Korea just like launching missiles next to Hokkaido and barely missing. Which I think we can understand Japan not being too thrilled about that. So some of the defense stuff they're ordering is, anti-missile stuff, thing like that. Anti-missile, I don't even know if that's a thing, but it's definitely stuff to defend them from attacks from North Korea because they're literally having, North Korea always says, oh, just a test, just a missile test. That's like randomly shooting stray bullets at someone and being like, oh, I'm just testing the gun. Whoa, what are you so mad about? Like, come on, fuck off, right? Wait, Carolyn, you said I just wish Texan and Tokyo made videos again. Didn't they make an update video recently? What, did they just stop after that again? Omar, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, so I'm just going to call you Omar. Hey, Scott, just saying hi. I've watched your content before I came to Japan. That was 12 years ago. You've been living in Japan for 12 years? Well, first of all, Omar, thank you. Always heartwarming to hear people who've stuck with me this long. Second of all, awesome to hear you've made it 12 years in Japan. That's hardcore, and much respect your way, bro. Let me know how it's going there, man. How's it going? They made one tiny update video that didn't really tell anything. Oh, so that video, okay. Well, maybe one day. You know what, Carolyn, maybe after like their kid gets a little older and they don't have to like maintain kid stuff like nonstop, maybe they'll start doing it again. I mean, kids when they're really young, so hard to maintain a YouTube channel, just to even get the house quiet enough where you can record. So, well, they did it for their privacy. I understand. I heard like the big thing was that they started to get stopped in the street and be like, "Are you Texan in Tokyo and stuff?" And they're like, "Oh shit, we're getting really famous," which I understand completely. Oh, 10 years. Oh, that's fine, Omar. Don't worry. 10 years is still hardcore. A decade? That's hardcore, bro. It's going well. I have gone through a lot of bad jobs. Okay. You're living the real life there. Gone through a lot of bad jobs and harassment, but now I have, a job in cybersecurity. Damn, dude, good work. Your content helped me understand this country. Damn. First of all, thank you. That's like an awesome compliment. Second of all, congratulations. I think you've got the dream that a lot of people who write to me always want, and you did it, man. I love hearing success stories like this. This is badass, dude. I've had a lot of friends try to get into cybersecurity in Japan. It's kind of a pretty tough market if I know correctly. Well, I don't know. I had a friend in about 2021, 2022. He had just finished a degree in it, and he was really fighting hard. And the stories he told me about, like the interviews and the competition and certain saturated aspects of the market and stuff, sounded pretty rough. So congrats on you, dude. That's no small feat. Um, I'm proud of you, but I think you should also be proud of yourself, man. Good job, Omar. That's badass, dude. Living the life of someone outside of English teaching, man. To make it there is always what a beast to tackle in Japan. And no offense to teaching English, dude. It's especially there's some jobs that are like really good. But to make it into any other industry, I gotta have nothing but respect for that because it is a tough thing to do. Homeschooling in Japan is illegal. Damn. Yeah. But that kind of makes sense because it's kind of like, why? Why do you need to homeschool? Because really, like, um, first of all, Japan, high level of education. They're not ranked low in the world. They're ranked pretty high. Second of all, there's no need for transportation. You don't need to hire a driver. You don't need a car. You don't need a bus. You don't need a train. Almost always you're within walking distance. I'm sure there's some countryside areas where that might not be true, but for the most part, you're within walking distance. Um, it's safe. It's super safe. So there's not really like a good excuse, right? Like no one could be like, yeah, but, like what? So, but in America, I can totally understand homeschooling. Um, there's America's ranked pretty low education wise. On top of it, let me just tell you, working in the education system, and hearing about some of the most rotten schools near us, and we're a pretty decent school, and safety, education, and everything like that. My school is, but we get a lot of transfers, and when we get transfers, I get to hear stories about the other schools, and holy crap! Um, if those were your only choices in the area, I'd homeschool too. Um, so totally understandable. Okay, good. Um, you're an unrested veteran. If you remember, Dave Rugger is meeting every few months for a gathering in the Nahami Park. Oh, Sakura Blossom Party or Hanamatsuri? I'm dumbfounded as to how people are still falling for their lies and refusing to hear the other person's side of the story and their partners, especially considering they came with receipts. Wait. What did I miss? Hold on. Wait. I saw a drama in the DreamWorks Trolls fandom being revived by the instigator who cried wolf and told lies about the person they wronged. Wait. I gotta look into this. William, first of all, welcome. Meadow, I'm gonna look into this in just a second here. It sounds kind of interesting. Okay, I have 3 kids, so I understand. Yeah, that's rough, dude. 3 kids. You are a busy lady. My dream is to live in Japan, but have at least Western work culture, not the Japanese version of work culture. I have one friend who's doing that. And I guess I've talked about him on video before, but I'm not going to say his name because I don't think he wants his name and anything out there. But pretty much the plus side is number one, his salary is like massive in comparison to his peers because first of all, American money's worth more. Second of all, just salaries are just often higher in America. Like you'd be shocked. Now the downsides he runs into is he says, like he's in the technology industry, and he says a lot of the old school Japanese salarymen refuse to update anything about like He's in marketing and IT, and he said just like it's like pounding your head against a stone wall. He said that no matter how much he shows them statistics of like their sales going up or how well it's working for other branches, like they've got like a branch in Australia, a branch in Japan, and a branch in America. And the Australian American branch have like boosted their sales massively due to the new IT marketing, like software, hardware, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know all that goes into it. Um, but he came there and his job was to convince people to switch over. It's like an internal thing. Like he is the IT and marketing part of the company that does sales and stuff like that. And he comes in there, teaches everybody how to use the new stuff and why they should use the new stuff and how the company's evolving to continue to market with only using this kind of tech and not old school ways of like cold calling and stuff like that. And he said like the hardest, the most insane part to him is like no matter what he shows these people, and I don't mean all of Japan, I mean the people I'm talking about are like old school salarymen. No matter how much he shows some of them, like they just refuse to change. Like they'll be like, yeah, but I've been doing this for like 25 years. And he's like, I know you're right. And you're really good at the technology from 25 years ago. But now like nobody's using fax machines anymore. Like nobody's worried about your Meishi, your business card. They're worried about like, your website accessibility, UI and interface as far as like being able to buy a product online, competition and ways you can get around them going straight to Amazon and going to you instead, quick turnaround, quick customer response and stuff. And he said they just like refuse. They won't even listen. They won't even give it a chance. Like he said they just like, no, I don't need it. Get out of here. Like you don't know what you're talking about. I've been doing this for 25 years. I know how I want to sell stuff. And like he said, like their sales continue to go down and down and down and down. He said to a point like he'll eventually have to fire them. And he said it's crazy. He's like, what do I do? How do I? And like he's even taking Japanese classes like nonstop to become fluent, so he can explain to them in both languages. He's like, uh, talking to his boss about like what other ways can I try and integrate it, and his boss is just kind of like, well, look, some people you won't be able to keep. Like there's nothing you can do or say to convince them. And he said, this is insane. Like I'm literally trying to help them do better at their job and keep their job. And even then they'll refuse to listen. He said, that's the most difficult part. But he does live a very good life with a very good pay to the point that like his wife she just lives as a housewife, just takes it easy, just can focus on the kid and, just, and he is able to, I don't know if he bought it or he's renting it, but apparently they have a pretty good sized American house there where like it was an old military house and they had to convert it to a more modern one. So I totally get your idea of wanting an American pay, an American job. And he works Western hours too. Like he comes in 8 hours, that's it, he's done. He said that's the other thing that blows his mind is like these guys will stay there like 12 hours and he'll be like, if you use this new technology, you wouldn't have to stay this long. You wouldn't have to enter in all this data, No, I know how to do this. Okay. When I told that story online, when I said like the frustrating problem he's running into, you wouldn't believe how many stories I got from other gaijin who said like, oh my God, like the craziest one I ever heard about like how they ran into similar technological problems. I forget what company the guy worked for, but he said they were building rockets. Like his company that he worked for built rockets, and the parts they needed like were in Japan. And the company that they would communicate with would have an English speaker obviously answer and be like, okay, what new stuff do you need and everything? What supplies do you need? And he'd explain it. They'd send the wrong part. And then he'd be like, what are you doing? Like, we didn't order this. Why'd you send this? Like, I asked for this part. And he said they wouldn't ever call for clarification. They wouldn't call to correct themselves. They'd just send another part and it would also be the wrong part again. And he said like 2 or 3 times before they'd finally get it right. And it happened over and over until they finally just like let go, like ended their contract and had to find another company. And he said it was, he's like, I even told them, I said, just call me before you send the part and check that you're sending the right part. And they wouldn't do it. They had this old way of like, we just send it. And if we're not right, you send it back and we'll pay for that. And we'll, figure it out when we send the good part. And he said that he did it like 5 or 6 times where the part had to go back and forth like 3 or 4 times. And he said, it's just ridiculous. I don't know. That's a weird part of Japan. There's this beautiful, hardcore, enduring aspect of the Japanese where they will push through some of the hardest things you would ever face in life, push through the post-apocalyptic nuclear bomb drop, tsunamis that destroyed Fukushima, earthquakes that leveled Kobe, and their resilience and will and endurance to push through those and rebuild are amazing. They're incredible. They're this incredible strength, an unbendable will, and the grit to like push through some hard life altering stuff. And then this same thing kicks into gear sometimes when they're set in their ways. I've seen it mostly with men in like high paying jobs or like high paced, fast moving jobs, lawyers, doctors, high level IT and high level marketing and stuff in sales and business. I've seen it mostly with men. So I have run into this before, and it always kind of blows my mind. I'm like, oh God, if you could only let go of this just for a second, just allow this to pass, right? Okay. Anyway, let's get back. Okay. I'm jelly. I had to give up on my Japanese dream. Oh no, what was your Japanese dream, Uchi? Thanks. I worked my ass off. Oh, Omar, I know you did. That's why I said you need to be proud of yourself. You busted your ass to get to where you're at, man. That is no small feat. I don't know if people understand. What Omar's done is like I said, like it's a lot of people's dream. Very few people come to Japan and do it. That's why it always like drives me insane. The most insane question I get over and over and over again on my channel. Look, I try to say there's no dumb question. You should be able to ask me anything, and I try to stick to that 100%. But when I get asked stuff about jobs, how do I become a doctor in Japan? Like, are you already a doctor in America? Well, no, but I'm thinking about majoring in biology and then going to med school after that. And it's like, why don't you just worry about that first, okay? Just worry about that. Or just like, jobs that you're just like, okay, like I want to move to Japan, but I don't want to be an English teacher. I want to be an architect. Oh, okay. You already work as an architect in America? No, but like I'm thinking maybe go to college for it, and then I'll do it in Japan, and then get hired in Japan. Like, do you speak like fluent Japanese, or like what have you already accomplished to get there? I don't know, just thinking about architecture. There's very, very, very few like careers where you can get in there. So I think maybe the one thing people always need to look at is when you start a company in Japan, work for a company, or a company needs to hire a gaijin, almost 100% of the time, and like I said, this is, almost 100% of the time, there needs to be a really good reason for why you need to hire a gaijin to do it. So for example, English. If 90+% of the population can't do the skill, which is like teach English, and again, remember, Japan is the lowest English literacy rate in all of Asia, then it's very easy for them to ask the government, hey, is it okay if we hire a gaijin for this job? And they're kind of like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead. There's not a ton of qualified people for that. Sorry, taking off my shoes and my socks. Ugh, I haven't done that all day. Why have I not done that? I'm insane. And so there's a really good way to get, the visas for that, to get, the working visa for that. But for them to make a reason for you to do something other than that, they really, really, really have to get a good like they got to be like, okay, look, this gaijin understands a technology that's just come to Japan, and nobody on our team knows how to do this. He's got to be here to teach us. Then that can work. Or there's like, for example, localization, which is like taking either software or video games or maybe even manga, and not just translating because anybody can just run it through Google and translate, but to make it colloquial and natural so they can hire a guide for that. So to get yourself into one of these jobs like Omar has, number one, he's going up against, it's not a market that's saturated as far as Japanese are concerned. It's saturated in the sense of gaijin applying for jobs like this. Because, of course, a lot of people want to break out of English teaching. English teaching, while I think it is a decent and great job, it's also very limiting. When you become an English teacher, there's not like English teacher level 500. No, I'm getting the massive six-figure salaries. No. Maybe at most you become like English teacher manager, but there's not even a chance for you to be like the principal of a school, admin at a school, head of the English department. Maybe that might exist, but mostly you're pretty limited, and you're cut off. So to get into what he's into means like he's got a much higher barrier of, number one, what to get past, but also then a much higher possibility of pay raise and pay grade and job level as he continues to climb the ladder. So, again, hats off to Omar, and that's why I said that's a badass job, and that's one that you had to really bust your ass to get. And I know, I'll continue to get questions about like, I'm thinking I want to come to Japan and I'm gonna be an actor. Oh, okay. So like you're like fluent in Japanese and like have professional training? No, but like I was in some school plays and like Japan's pretty cool. So I'm thinking I'm gonna head to Tokyo. Well, how should I go about becoming an actor? If you're asking me for a game plan in a career you haven't even started yet, in a country you haven't been to yet, with a language you haven't learned to speak yet, in an industry I've never been part of, you probably got a lot more work to do. I don't think I'm going to have any answer for you there that's going to kick the door open. But, well, I used to say that was mostly just young kids. And I can totally understand young kids, like, somebody at high school asking me something like that because you don't know how the working world works yet. And when I mean the working world, I mean the world of people working. So I totally forgive that. I had crazy dreams that now I look at them like that made no sense. Why did you think you were going to do that? I wanted to be a movie director. That was what I wanted to do with my friend. Oh, I want to direct. I'm going to direct and write movies. And then I acted in a few movies and I did like grip work and stuff like that for some movies when I was in college. And I'm like, I never want to be a director. That would be hell. I could never do that job. But that's like the work experience, right? Then you realize, oh, I don't even want to do that in America. Why the hell would I want to do that in Japan? Anyway, let's move on. Jason, that artist. Hey, welcome back, bud. Luckily, I have so much experience in English teaching, I've become overqualified, but the pay is chump change. Yeah. Yeah, brother, I understand. That's pretty much why I came. Like I've said, I came to America. I work as a teacher here too. I'm making probably 4 times as much as I made as an English teacher in Japan. And I continue to get raises too, which Japan, that's the most discouraging aspect is that like you're never considered for a raise, almost never, unless it's like some sort of charter school or private school where they know you're going to be like long term there. Like for example, my son, he has an English teacher at his school, and I'm sure that guy gets raises and stuff like that because he's part of like a really hardcore all boys school. But I was an extra in a movie once in Japan. I had a friend who was in the industry, but he's gone back to New Zealand. Yeah, I've been in a commercial. I've been in a bunch of TV interviews for like interviews on the street. I did that probably 5 or 6 different times. I was on a show about takoyaki one time. I was in ads for style of jeans. Is there anything else? I was never in a movie. So You're far more qualified than me. But good for you, man. That's awesome. Maybe I'll go back to Japan sometime and teach one of the travel agencies. There are some American travel agency stuff. The first travel agency I worked for was a Japanese company. You never know. You really do never know. That's very true. That's a good point. I'll show you the false accusations drama later. Yeah. Meadow. Send it to me on Discord. Like, I want to get into that deeper and understand the situation better. I remember you talking about this somewhat, but no, I really am interested to hear more about this. So definitely send me that stuff. Right now, I know I make a lot of money in the US than I ever could in Japan. Yeah. Yeah, like some people have asked me, they're like, "You never gonna go back to Japan and teach?" And I'm like, no. Like, no. Like the pay is just like leaps and bounds better. The benefits are leaps and bounds better. The only thing I guess Japan could do better with would be the healthcare's almost free, but the healthcare's not very good. Like I couldn't even get ADHD medication in Japan. They give you some kind of herbal junk that doesn't work at all. I honestly, like, I got medication one time for it and I took it for like months and I never noticed a single change in anything. And I'm just like, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's some kind of Chinese extract. And what? That is useless. Send me the Discord link. Wait, sorry, Mark, what am I sending you a link for? I'm sorry, my brain's all over the place and I'm tired. Oh, wait. You just mean like the Discord link to join Discord? Yeah, dude, please join. I want to see you on there, dude. Martin Tapping, welcome, bud. US salaries are pretty much double or triple the UK even. Damn, really? The situation here is a little like Japan with its stilted approach to salary increases. Damn, I didn't know. I thought the UK had to pay pretty decent because buying property out there is like outrageous. Give me a second. I'm going to grab something to drink here. Got to stay hydrated. The song police called. They want Alex to stop singing immediately. I said the song police called and they said they want Alex to stop singing immediately or he's going to be arrested. Yeah, you got to stay hydrated. All right. Isn't ADHD medication illegal in Japan? Yeah. The stuff that you would take in America, you can't even bring it over on an airplane. I can't take my medication over there. Which I'll be okay. I don't take a mega dose or anything like that where I'm going to have some kind of big problem like that, but I can't bring it over there. There are some substitutes you can bring that don't have the same mix as something like Ritalin or Adderall or something like that. But yeah, you can't take the big ones over there. You'll literally get in trouble for it. Like you could possibly be arrested. I'm not going to risk that. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's only been like in the last year or two that like Japan has finally recognized ADHD as like real. Like they didn't believe it was such a thing before. Like they just kind of were like, no. Maybe that's an American thing, but us Japanese, we don't have it. They're still they're still coming around to understand certain aspects. Oh, why'd I go blurry? That was weird. I'm on mobile right now, and I've already put my computer into sleep mode. Nice. The dream is live in Japan on a U.S. salary, dude. If I could do that, if I could make the salary I made here in Japan, that would be the dream, dude. Holy cow. I'd be living a real good life. Um, damn, yeah. I'd be living a real good life. Ugh. Dad, the best would be like how much video games I could buy. No, okay. Chill out about that, Scott. God, I could buy so much. I could buy such a good computer. And I could buy every anime toy I ever wanted. I could live my little kid dreams. All right. Let me get back. Let me see what I missed. I always said to myself, the only way, yeah, I'll show, okay, yeah. I'm so lucky I get paid in USD through my private lesson. Certainly is a nice bonus. Oh, that's right, Jason. You got a sick setup. That's right. You're doing like online and get, yeah, that's good, Jason. Good for you, man. Japanese is a great place to go if you have a good job in your home country and you want to go somewhere with cheap food, etc. I mean, there's good stuff better than just cheap food. I mean, Japan's got some beautiful stuff, super polite people, wonderful customer service, amazing things to buy, to shop. Fashion's incredible. There's so many things, but one of the great things is not pay. Your pay is never great in Japan. Pay is pretty shit. Let's see. Okay. I already said that. The best thing Japan ever created is depreciating houses. So genius in my eyes. Yes and no. The amazing, I'd say one of the most amazing things about America is that we have houses that can last for centuries. I literally lived in a house that was built during the Civil War, and it was beautiful. It had incredible hardwood floors, and it had just like it was so beautiful. It was an amazing house. And you'll never find anything like that in Japan. You'll never find beautiful old school. I mean, there's some, once in a great while, but like not like America where like you can have like post World War II houses that have like beautiful brick and like steel beams and stuff like that. Like you're not gonna find anything. A lot of the houses that they make in America are like they're really cookie cutter cardboard cutouts. Like they fall apart in no time at all. A lot of the material they use internally to build stuff are what they call quote unquote refurbishing, or I think they say like a reform. Like it's kind of garbage material. It starts falling apart pretty fast. And it's because they don't really care about long term. Like they don't need to have long term. Like they're just kind of like, okay, you pay it off and then you refurbish it again, but you'll have to refurbish it like probably every 10 years minimum. A lot of the stuff that you would put in a Japanese house wouldn't last more than 10 years. It start to get pretty scuzzy. Tengu, there are a couple of ADHD meds are allowed, but Ritalin or Adderall. Yeah, I think, whoops, almost knocked over my whole plate of food. There's one, it starts with C. I forget what it's called, but you can take that one over there. That's probably what I'm going to be prescribed while I go. Sorry. It's very late where I am right now, and I have a guest sleeping next door. Plus, I'm on mobile, and my computer's in sleep mode. Oh, okay. Well, just take it easy, Meadow. I mean, if you can't stay long, it's okay. But I appreciate you being here, and I definitely look forward to reading what exactly happened. I want to try and understand it more. So you mean Japan has finally joined the 90s now? Yeah, Japan. Yeah. I mean, they're. I don't know. Like I said, I always say this: Japan is living in the future and the past all at the same time. Is it easier for me to migrate to Japan or the U.S.? Well, I mean, I didn't really. Can you really consider it migrating to America when you were born there? I mean, I'm come back. I mean, I just say there's certain things that are better in Japan and there's certain things that are better in America. Like, so for example, Pay is way better. You know, owning a car is way better in America. Like, gas is not outrageous like it is in Japan. Um, Insurance is not outrageous. Tax is not outrageous. If you think taxes are bad in America for cars or insurance is bad, you should see Japan's prices. Although some of the cars you could buy in Japan, like that are Japanese, not anything foreign or imported, are very low price, very reasonably priced. You can buy a new car there probably much cheaper than in America, like a K2 or something like that, way cheaper than anything you would buy out here. Even like the most, lowest models of cars possible would still be more expensive than a decent K2 out in Japan. Customer service is way better in Japan. Like you can actually get responses. You can actually get like something corrected. You can actually get like real people on the phone actually fixing something that's wrong. What else? Insurance is better out in Japan, but the medical care is not as good. Like just the stuff they do sometimes, just like, really, ginger again? My arm's broken. Why are you giving me ginger? And they're ginger. What? America, house prices are worse. Definitely house prices in Japan are way better. But, well, actually, you know what? Food is cheaper and food is better in Japan. Sorry, America. I love American food. I love, pizza, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, the macaroni and cheese, all kinds of stuff like that. I love it. But food just tastes better. It's healthier. It's way cheaper. I guess, no, okay. One thing that is cheaper and better in America is buying meat. Not fish. Okay. I'm not talking pescatarian diet. Fish is better in Japan and cheaper, but buying like beef, pork, steak, ribeye, anything, it's way cheaper in America, and you get like actual, for real chunks of meat. That's been kind of nice with my workouts and stuff like that, that I can actually buy like large amounts of meat that I can cook without, having to sever an arm and a leg from myself, only the animal. Jobs, job, job. I don't want to say like everything about jobs is better in America, because there's some bullshit where like, so for example, getting fired in Japan is way harder. You can't be fired really easily in Japan, unless you're a gaijin, and then you can be fired with no problem whatsoever. Um, let's see, insurance is better in Japan when a job, pay is better in America for a job. Hours are better in America for a job. Um, Overall work satisfaction, probably better in America than in Japan. I'd say definitely like simple things like having a friend at the job, like the way you're treated at a job, um, is way better in America. Um, Especially as a gaijin. Like in Japan, they're just gonna, the way you get looked at in Japan most times from almost any place you would work for, aside from like maybe like Omar's situation or like my friend who works in IT. Any other place you're gonna work, they're gonna be like, "So when are you going home? When are you getting out of here?" Like not literally chasing you out the door, but just kind of like, yeah, you're here now, but like you're just kind of like a dancing bear for us. You're not like a real, for real salaried employee. You're just kind of a joke. Um, ugh, ugh, dang it! I just dropped some on my pants. What a messy boy. Nah, it's not too bad. That's why you should always wear black. You can drop as much food as you want, and not see it too well. So there's just some. You know what? There's probably more things I can compare. Just ask me. Just ask me. Be like, what do you think about this compared to this? I paid 10,000. Wait, 10,000 yen? Oh, Ichima. Pharmacy 211. I mean, yeah, if I didn't have insurance, like I have decent insurance now. I have Aetna, and I pay $16 only for my medication. One time I saw the price without my insurance, like they hadn't put it on there yet, they hadn't applied it. It was like $600. Fuck, $600? Like what? I mean, like literally like 30 pills, $600. Like America's a joke when it comes to healthcare. Healthcare's a joke. Don't worry, I won't go Michi Mangione on anyone. Good, Aaron. Okay, that's good. I mean, it's good, but I mean, is it good? Um, it's hard for you to get fired, but the Japanese are so good at isolating you and ignore you at work until you leave on your own. Japanese specialty. Yeah, I mean, there's worse things than that even. I mean, you can get like severe power harassment. I mean, look at that politician I just covered. He literally harassed people until they deleted themselves. Like, I can't tell you how many jobs I worked where I was just treated like shit. Like they were just kind of like, okay, so like here's some shit to do and like tell us when you're going home. Right? Or just like, um, oh, that's right, you gotta work here. Okay, can you just like come to this classroom and say these couple words? All right, great. That's it. Head back. Or I'd get treated bad because the worker before me was like a shithead. Like there was some guy I remember I worked at the school and they were like, "Wow, showed up on time. This is crazy." And I'd be like, I show up on time every day. Like I was always like an hour early. I don't like to ever I was never late for any job unless there was like a train, thing. And like from week one, I remember they kept every day I'd show up, they'd be like, "Well, oh, he's on time again for like this whole week." And I'm like, "Guys, I've never been late." And they're like, "Yeah, you're not late, but the guy before you sometimes would show up 2 hours late." And it's like, okay, well, fuck that guy. He sucks. That is shit. But why am I getting judged by that? I am not related to every gaijin. I don't know who the hell he even was. Like I never met the guy. But don't be like, "Oh, good job. Gaijin can show up on time." Like, you do stupid shit like that all the time where it's like they judge you because of the guy before you was like a joke and a half at the job. Um, but then, like at the same time, even you do your best. I remember the only job I ever got a salary increase in after I had been there for 3 years. I got Niju Go En added onto my hourly pay. So you're talking about less than 25 cents after 3 years. That was the closest I ever had to a salary. Meanwhile, everybody else there got winter chugen. They got summer chugen, which is like a bonus that they get. I never got a bonus. Gaijin never get the bonus. You never get a yearly salary raise. Nothing. It's just bullshit. There's just like no motivation. And they treat you like that, but then also wonder why like people just abandon jobs. They're like, "Oh, so unprofessional. Gaijin just suddenly quit." It's like, yeah, because we're not there to take bullshit. Like, you want to treat other people like that, fine, but I'm not going to sit there and take it. I love the Japanese schools I worked at. I just remember thinking I could have popped in and done this and left in 4 to 5 hours instead of 8, 9, 10 hour days. Yeah. Aaron, did you ever have to go to meetings? The most useless meetings in the world that like you'd be like, what are we doing here? What are we trying to get accomplished? That was one thing that like that drove me totally insane. There's sometimes your shift would end at 5 o'clock and they'd be like, "Oh guys, by the way, meeting today at 5." And you'd be like, "5? That's when my shift ends." Then you'd get there and like I guess the Japanese staff would have to stay way, way, way later. So they'd open up the meeting, they'd be like, "All right, guys, thanks for showing up. Hey, Sakura, you just went to Disney World. How was it?" Oh my God, guys, Disney World was so fun. We got to see Mickey, actually real Mickey up close. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you talking about your trip to Disney? Get the fuck out of here. Like, it would make me so angry. Um, I'd be like, okay, but hey, Dakota, that's great. You got to go to Disney. Guys, what are we here to cover today? They'd be like, "Scott, calm down." Like I learned eventually to just shut up and let them talk. But like the first couple of meetings, I'd be like, "Well, what are we here to discuss?" And they'd be like, "Well, first of all, let's just check in with Sakura. She just had an amazing time at Disney." And it's like, I don't give a fuck about Sakura's trip to Disney. especially I grew up in Florida. Like, get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? And they would just like talk about like bullshit at me, like nothing would get done. And I'd be like, why are we having this? What is going on? And like they didn't care because they'd have to work all the way till like 8 o'clock. So they'd just be like, yeah, whatever. This fills up some of the time. And I'm just like, what? Ugh, drove me insane. I don't be like, no wonder nothing gets done. Like, do we have to work 12 hours because like we only get like 8 hours of work done during those 12 hours? And if we worked less, it would be even less than 8 hours of work. Like we'd have to like get to like, oh, it's crazy. I don't know, man. It drove me nuts. It was really inefficient. And there's been like studies that have proven like if you work people 12 hours, there's not a higher level of production. If there's any raise in production, it's like so minimal, it's not worth the actual exhaustion you cause. So it makes no sense. It's one tradition. That's another thing that'll kill Japan. Like, and I mean it literally. Like, it'll literally start to like destroy their population. And that's another stubborn aspect. Like, there was a time where it made sense, post 1950, early 80s as well, going all the way into the early 80s. They had so much rebuilding to do that these crazy hours got them finishing a ton of stuff. But now there's not rebuilding to do. There's not like this rush. It's mostly just companies sticking to this really old school way of, if the boss doesn't leave, we don't leave. And most of these businesses are still like owned by a boss who like literally almost lives at the job, or like they may even have an apartment connected to the job. They may have their actual, house connected to a condo there that they can live in. And they don't leave. They just stay. So everybody else stays. Like, oh, I can't leave until the boss leaves. And it's just like, why? Why should you have to be like controlled by like, they'll literally sign contracts that just say 9 to 5, and then they'll be there till like 9, 10 o'clock. Some say that they would be there even later if the trains didn't stop running at midnight. Positives and negatives everywhere, I guess. Exactly, Waynetta. Exactly. Henry Ford is the guy who did that study on working more than 8 hours a day. I did enjoy Bonenkai. Yeah, Shinenkai. If you guys don't know what she's talking about, it's like kind of end of the year parties, and Sayonara parties too. They were always nice. Yeah, those are fun. Those are real fun. Go out drinking. Go out drinking with the Japanese. Oh man, it's fun. The interesting thing about it is that you never talk shit at the job, right? Like, we all talk shit at our jobs in America. For the most part, I actually don't talk too much shit at my job because I'm pretty happy. But everybody, I'm sure some things you can complain about at any job. Well, there you don't do it. But if you're at Bonenkai and you get wasted and you start talking shit about the job, like no one will. They'll be like, oh yeah, well he was drunk. So, like I've heard incidents too of like people outright like yelling at their boss, and people be like, oh, calm down, calm down. And later the next day they're at work and they're like, oh, boss, I'm so sorry. I should have never like lost my temper like that. And he's like, it's okay. You were drunk. Like I've heard incidents of that even. I've never seen that go down, but I've definitely heard the story. The worst case, it ends in karoshi. Yeah, karoshi, death from overwork. You're doing great when your country has a word for death from overwork. Yikes. The worst is when one of the ass-licking employees asks the boss at the end of the shift, hey, don't we have a meeting today? Oh. I hope it's a meeting where we sacrifice you to the work gods. Yeah, I don't know, like, for me, the worst part about working in Japan is you'd be working with someone who you would think is a colleague, right? Maybe they're like your assistant teacher or they're a peer. And you do something in which you messed up. Like maybe you didn't know, like you can't, like, for example, one thing I never knew until I did it and then got asked not to do it again was move a trash can with my foot. All right. Like, not something you'd imagine is a big deal, but apparently that's really rude to do in Japan. And I was like moving a trash can around with my foot while like I had one of like I was teaching Hoikuen, which is like little kids, like babies pretty much. And I'm holding him and like I'm trying to throw stuff away, but not let it get near the kid who I'm holding at the same time. So I'm moving the trash can close enough that I can do it. Well, then my assistant, instead of being like, hey Scott, like just so you know, like that's kind of rude to do in Japan, which, oh shit, I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know. She'll go behind my back and then go tell my boss and be like, do you know he was moving around a trash can with his foot today? It's so rude. And you'd be like, and then later your boss will be like, hey, Scott, can you come to the office? Hey, listen, I don't know what you were thinking, but you were moving. There's parents there and they were watching you move around a trash can with your foot. And I'd be like, oh, okay. I'd be like, don't you know that's like really rude to do? And I'd be like, no, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Okay, don't do it again in front of parents. Like, we don't want to show us as being like a low class place. And I'd be like, oh, sorry, who saw me do that? Did one of the parents report it? And it's like, no, it's actually somebody you work with, and I'm not going to say who. And it's like, okay, I only work with one person, so it's, and then when that would happen, then I'd have like no trust, zero trust in the person I work with. I'd be like, oh wow, I'm not going to talk to you about anything, and they'd be like, oh, what do you do with this, or what do you? I just be like, I don't, not much. Like if they'd be like, what do you do over the weekend? I'm like, nothing really. They'd be like, gosh, he's so cold. Yeah, dude, I don't trust you with anything anymore. That was an aspect of Japan I really hated. Like they would narc on you so fast at a lot of the. I'm not saying everybody in Japan will do that, but the jobs I worked at, I got narked on like for small, like I didn't know it was inconsiderate because I'm still like learning the culture. Um, like I got yelled at one time because instead of saying "otsukare-sama deshita," like a polite way to leave work, I just said "jane," and I didn't know like that's like way too impolite. Like it's like saying "see you tomorrow," but "otsukare-sama deshita" is like "thank you for the hard work today," you know. Um, and like I got talked to about that. They're like, "Please never do that again in front of customers," and I'm just like, oh, so you went and told my boss I did that. Thanks. I didn't even know that was wrong because it's only like my second month in Japan. And that kind of shit I had like no respect for. I'll never have any respect for that. Like the assistant you're working with goes and tells your boss something they didn't like that you did. And I'd be like, why didn't she just tell me? And they'd be like, oh, but that's not how it's done in Japan. I'd be like, well, then fuck that bitch. I don't trust her at all. And such bullshit. Can you talk about Hafu obsession? I heard so many horror stories about gaijin getting used by Japanese girls to get a Hafu baby, then to ghost them. Whoa, really? Um, I I can't say I've heard a personal story about that happening. Um, I have had times where my own child, like people were like unhealthily obsessed where like they would just come up and start like taking pictures and I'd be like, excuse me, like do I know you? Are you like they'd be like, no, but your son's so beautiful. I'd be like, let's not take pictures. Oh, sorry. And I'd be like, actually, like, can you delete it from your phone? Because I don't know you. It's kind of weird. And they'd be like, oh, oh, okay, sorry. And I'd be like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Like, stop. Like if any Japanese person, if I just ran up to them and started taking pictures, they'd be like totally creeped out. So it's like if that like that's the natural reaction, and I totally get it, to a gaijin doing that to a Japanese person, why would they think doing that to my son would be okay? So, and it wasn't like every Japanese person, but I had quite a few people who did that. Like they'd come up, some people would ask, and I'd say like, I'm sorry, no, like I don't, you know, I don't know you. I don't know where my son's picture is going to end up. That's a little bit strange. So that was that was the only really creepy thing I ran into. But a person trying to get knocked up just to have a Hafu kid, I never had any friends run into that. I have heard of obsession of like they really want a Hafu baby or something like that. And like we got approached by like modeling agencies and stuff like that. My son actually was in like quite a few, like especially when he was young, man. So many like baby clothes pictures. Man, they're so cute. Oh, did I ever share them? I'll have to find some of them and share them with you guys. You guys will lose your mind. It's so cute. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe it's not so cute. It's my own child, so like your own perception really changes. Like I could look at the pictures forever and like almost cry, but probably the rest of you'd be like, okay, well, I mean, normal baby picture, whatever. Okay, good job, Scott. I don't know. Perception sometimes is so different when it's like your child. Um, you want to tell everybody about your kid, and they're like, cool, 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 cool. And you're like, "Oh, I don't care." So your kid learned how to do that. Great. Okay. Love the Japanese schools I work. Okay, I did that one. Healthcare costs in America are crazy. I feel so bad for those afraid to go to the hospital when they need to, but at least your taxes and wages are better than in Ireland. Yeah, yeah. People complain about taxes in America, but I don't know, man. You should see what taxes are like in a socialist country or even a nationalist-based healthcare country like Japan. Taxes are shit in Japan. They take a massive chunk. They take all kinds of like city taxes, environmental protection taxes, which make like no sense when you're in the middle of a city where the closest in nature is like a dirt park made out of dirt with dirt, looking like the playground from Terminator 2 when that nuke hits. So there's that. Like I never understand that. I mean, yeah, you got free healthcare there in Japan, but yeah, healthcare in America is like absurd. Like that was one thing that kind of like really shocked me about Japan is that like old people or like anybody of any age, they'd be like, "Oh, I gotta go to the doctor," and I'd be like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" And they'd be like, "I've got a cold," and I'd be like, "What the fuck? What do you?" Oh, I had to rush to the hospital yesterday. What happened? My son had a fever. Okay, like really bad? Like was it like he like dehydrated and like passing out? No, it was like if it's 98 degrees, like you like have a fever of 100, rush to the hospital. Oh, what happened? They gave him some Tylenol and he was okay. I mean, why did you go to the clinic for that? What the hell are you doing? Like in America, it's like, are you almost dead? Okay, maybe it's time to go. Maybe. You about to die? Okay, I guess we'll go to the hospital. Like, I mean, you go to the hospital when you like break something, when you do something that like over the counter medication can't fix. Mm. I'd go to the hospital. Like the one time I went to the hospital in Japan, I reached a point where like I couldn't swallow and I couldn't talk. That's how bad my streptococcus had gotten, my strep throat. And the people I was in there with were just like, I'm getting a vitamin IV. I'm gonna get some vitamins in me and be like, or what sickness makes you have to get that? Oh, nothing. I just want extra vitamins. What? Just take a goddamn multivitamin at home. What the hell are you doing? It's free. It's free, and I got nothing to do. Oh, okay. I went to the hospital 3 times. Um, when I first got to Japan, I lost like the ability to talk and swallow because like my throat was so swollen. That was my first time. Um, I had to get like a bunch of antibiotics. The second time I busted my head open. I took a picture of this and made a video about it. I busted my head open so wide that I had to get staples in my skull. Um, and oh, the other time, I had internal bleeding where my iron was so low that like I started to like go pale and like feel like I was gonna pass out all day. And it turned out I had polyps. I think I'm saying that right, polyps on my digestive tract, and I had to get a colonoscopy. So it was like stuff like I couldn't fix from going to the drugstore. Um, but I mean, it turned out good. Like they thought I had cancer at first. They thought I had like colon or stomach cancer, and it just turned out to be polyps. So that was nice. I just had to get That stuff they had to take 8 vials of blood though. Like I passed out at like number 3. The hell? Haven't been to a hospital in 25 years. Yeah, have I gone? I haven't gone to the hospital at all since I've been in America. I'm gonna go get another health check though when I go back to Japan. You can go get a health check for like super cheap, and you can like pay for the level you want to get. I'm gonna get one that's like the highest level where they go through every part of your body. Like they do like a colonoscopy. What's the other one where they go through your nose and like down through your intestine? I'm gonna get that one. They're gonna take my blood. They're gonna weigh me. They're gonna take my BMI. They're gonna check me for every cancer possible. You can get like a super thorough one. I'm gonna do that when I go back because if I do that in America, I'll have to sell my car just to pay for it. So I'm gonna definitely do that. Greece is adopting the 6-day work week to be regular at companies, maybe heading towards the overwork culture of Japan. It's really because people can't afford to live on 5-day work week anymore. Whoa, really? Really? That's hard. Ooh, I'm sorry, dude. That sounds awful. 6 days? That's miserable. Where's my scissors at? Dang it. Oh, maybe here? No? Where the hell did my scissors go? Oh, there they are. Yeah, like 6-day work week. Almost everybody in Japan has that. I never had to do 6 days. Oh, no, actually, I did. There was one school I worked at. The pay was pretty decent. Well, I say decent. It's still way lower than what I make here. But I made Sanman, which is like these days it would only be about maybe close to 3,000 in America. But 3,000 a month back when I got there in 2007, that was good money, man. That was a decent chunk of change. But I had to work 6 days a week to get that. That was hell. That was the worst. Because the kids I had to teach on day 6, they weren't the normal private school kids that I had the rest of the week. They were like these public school imports. They were really bad kids. That's where I first learned the word kusojiji, because that's what they would call me. Shitty grandpa. So I guess that's the closest translation. Did you know that Taylor Swift has named after Albert Einstein? Huh? Taylor Swift was named after Albert Einstein? Is there a punchline to that joke? Or is that a joke or what? Where's that one going? I'm really lost on that one. Was Einstein a Swiftie? Is that what you mean? Yeah, 110 years after. I don't. Is that joke too smart for me? I don't get it. Is that poop uncle would be my translation. Tee poop uncle. Wouldn't that, but that would be like unko Gigi, wouldn't it be? Because kuso is like really strong. That's like shit. So it wouldn't be like unko Gigi. That'd be okay if they call me that. That's kind of funny. But no, I was this really asshole kid. He was a total shithead. And usually don't have like really shithead students in Japan. So yeah, you can call me shitty grandpa, Kusa Gigi. Albert was named then 110 years after Taylor was named. No, I'm not clipping my toenails. I'm actually trying to like shave off. I've got like insane calluses. So like I'm trying to like shave off some of the callus. Every once in a while I try to reduce that a little bit. Sorry, is that super gross? Yeah, every once it's from years and years of running. Your feet become like it becomes like big enough where it starts to like rub against the other toe. So I have to like shave it down. I had to go to the hospital before Christmas for severe back and abdominal pain, EKGs, blood tests, a couple of IVs, and it only cost £100. Ambulance ride. It's not for everyone, I guess, but I LOL'd. Sorry, it's not that it's not funny. I think I'm just too dumb to understand. Okay, so Scott shall be known as Shitty Grandpa from now on. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You can just call me Kuso GG. It's gross. Commit seppuku now. All right. Wait, where's the guy behind me with the samurai sword? Dude, bro, you only took me halfway through it. This isn't okay. You're supposed to be behind me, Mr. Boot. It is gross, but you're fine. Just don't zoom. Sorry, it was just really it was like bothering me the whole time I was on this live stream. It was rubbing raw all day. So I had to finally shave it down. It was bothering me. It's my big toes. They rub against the toe next to it. Hospitals are in shambles here. They're always overrun and overworked, but I feel lucky it's affordable. Wait, where's here? Is that wait, were you the one just saying you were from Ireland? I can't remember now. Poppy Peepaw. Would it be Poopy Peepaw? I like that one. Poopy Peepaw. Darn phone. Oh, okay, so it was supposed to be Poopy Peepaw. I like Poopy Peepaw. I think that could be like a song. That's great. I love it. Ugh, I'm thirsty again. Where's my alcohol spray? I don't want to just grab my drink. Oh, there. I'll wait till the alcohol spray finishes for just a second. Okay. Do you remember the Japanese writer who committed seppuku? It's not supposed to be funny, but reading how it happened, I giggled a bit. Yeah, I think I remember who you're talking about. Apparently, like, it went really wrong too. Like, he couldn't properly do it, which I don't. No, nobody was like overly impressed. People kind of just like, what are you doing? Like, nobody does that anymore. Oh, really? Ireland? The hospitals are falling apart in Ireland. Really? That sucks, man. I'm sorry. Mishima, 1970. Yeah, I remember reading about that, and people were kind of like, "Why do you do that?" Like, no Japanese person was like, "Oh yeah, hardcore, bro." Like, everyone was just kind of like, "Aren't we? Are you okay, bro? Like, what? Aren't we past this? You're not a samurai." Damn, that sucks. I mean, there's hospitals that are kind of run down in America, but I will say, like, our ERs are overrun most of the time. They're like really busy. Like, if I went there, I might have to wait like 8 hours unless I was like about to have complete heart failure. I remember one time I busted my lip skateboarding, and I went to go get stitches on my lip because it wouldn't stop bleeding. And I forget how I waited so many hours that I eventually just left. And like, they stopped me on the way out. They're like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, it's been like 6 hours, dude. I'm gonna just like go home. And they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll see you now." And I'm just like, "All right." And they, like, just as I was about to leave, they like stopped me and took me there. Mr. Boo, oh, that's a bad fail. Yeah, that is not a fail you want to make on a seppuku. Ugh. Anyway, let me just do something real quick before we go here. Wait, hold on. Let me just check something real quick. We want to go to Kyoto News. And I just want to take a look. What? No. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Let me see if there's any good. Well, there's no crime. What's new? All right, let's see what the newest stuff is. Oh, that's right. Trump met with Shigeru today, right? Was it today that he met with Shigeru? That's the new PM, in case you didn't know, for Japan. Isn't his last name Ishiba? I always remember Shigeru is much easier to remember. At the White House that he wants to slash the U.S. trade deficit with Japan. Trump says U.S. steel will get investment from Japanese steel instead of being bought by it. Borneo musician fulfills wish of learning from Kyoto Maestro. SoftBank app sure talks turns sign language into text. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Investigation on Hyogo governor proceeds. PR firm searched. Oh, that guy I did the video on, that politician. Sleepy dude, yeah. The Tsuyama massacre story, dude, who wiped out. Oh. Maybe I should cover that this week. Yeah, you know why I didn't do that? It was because the Nakai Masahito thing happened when I was about to do that video. Hold on. All right, I should do that. Tsuyama massacre. It's kind of the Tsuyama massacre thing's like it's devastating. It's an insane tragedy, but it's also kind of like Jesus Christ, man. Like no one. Did police exist out there? Because he just like kept killing one person after another, and like, what was it, 1930? Hold on. Look up. 1938. That's why. I'm like, why didn't anybody get on the phone and call the police? There was no phones. Yeah. What an asshole. What a psycho. It's aggravating how people believe accusations and accept out-of-context screenshots as proof enough. I swear nobody learned a thing from 2018 Spockter drama. 1939, yeah. Humans are such amazing engineers when we focus, but we get distracted easily. Yeah, Meadow, I agree with you completely. Like people believe stuff sometimes and they never even ask the source, and you're just kind of like, what are you doing? Like, where is that from, or where are you getting that from? My students at school sometimes do that to me, or they'll be like, Mr. Ackerman, why this and this? And I'm like, where did you hear that? I don't know, my friend said it. There's like, your friend? Is your friend like a specialist in that? No. So why are you believing that? Like what? Don't just believe anything your friend says. You never heard like don't believe everything you see on TV, and they're like, no, I never heard that. I'm like, what about the internet? And they're like, yeah, I guess sometimes the internet's got some lies. And I'm like, probably your friend does too. Sorry. Do add 200 shotgun shells just by signing authorization paper. He said he wanted to hunt birds. Yikes. What? I didn't know that. That's crazy. What do you think of Ryona Kenshin remake on Netflix? I don't believe the voice acting can surpass the original. I haven't watched anything of that. Okay, that's something else I can write down. Ryona Kenshin remake. One thing I have noticed with my channel that I'm like, this is fine. This is my own problem to solve and figure out. There's nothing I'm going to say to you guys would be like, Scott, this is what you got to do to fix it. It's weird. Like sometimes I do stuff that covers famous people in Japan and like either like a story about them or a downfall or something like that. And sometimes it does like really, really well and people are interested. And then sometimes it just like people are like, who cares? And then if I do stuff about living in Japan, it does well most times. But I feel like it's covered so much by so many people and so many times, and that even probably I've done a past video on it that I'm like, oh, I don't think people want to hear about this anymore. So sometimes I'm kind of stuck these days. I'm like, I've got stuff I can do. I've got things I can look at. I'm not like, guys, what should I make videos about? I'm not in that phase of my career. I'm just in a phase of like, what would be best? I don't know. These days I kind of just go off of like what's most interesting to me. Hence I did the Nankai Masahito. I just made him an earthquake fault. Depends only if algorithm picks up. Yeah, I suggest you watch the 80s movie. It's free online and well done. It shows how a sane person can slowly turn insane. Whoa, really? Dude, I want to watch. That sounds amazing, Mr. Boot. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to check that out. Okay. Anyway, I can feel sleep kicking in, guys. Tonight was fun. I felt like I'm back to like my normal energy, answering questions fast, enjoying people coming out from the past and saying hi again. Ah. Something I heard recently is algorithm equals audience. Yeah, more or less. It's true. I don't know, it's weird. Like, I make more money than I used to on my channel, but my views for my main videos on Saturday is lower. Like, it's about sometimes it's lower. Sometimes it beats the old, like the one I did about Huachan, like got double what I normally get. And then some only get like 1,000, and then later they kick up to like 2 or 4,000. But then because I do the streams, somehow those hit 200 to 400 views, which I'm unsure how that works because I don't think 400 people have come around to watch me jibber jab for 2 to 4 hours, sometimes 6 hours. My God, I don't even listen to myself that long. So I don't know how it hits like 200 to 400 views, but that like increases how much I make every month because those views count. And I guess they can add ads onto that later, which I don't understand how that works. But dude, Dark, oh shoot, Dark, I never got back to you. What's up? Dude, Dark, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot to like get back to you. Holy cow. I've been way too busy. That's insane. The last 2 weeks, like I haven't even, you wrote me an email to say, hey, and I never answered. Oh my God, dude. Dark, sorry. Okay, Dark, dude, I got to get back in. I got to get back to you. Sorry, man. Hey, I mean, I hope you're doing good, man. Dang. 10 subs, dude. Thank you. Oh my gosh, dude. Thank you, man. Now I feel bad. Oh man, we've been trying to get together on doing a collab, and I totally forgot. I have a video in the works that I need to upload to Osoroshi Nights too, and I just haven't. The last 2 weeks have been hell. I'm sorry. I've just been working like a dog, dude. Working crazy, crazy, crazy. And we haven't been getting much breaks at work recently, so I've like my schedule's been insane. Dude, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm super excited to work with you though, man. I've been wanting to work. Dude, Dark, you're too nice. All right, man. All right, we got to get it. I got to get it together. Actually, you know what? In March, I have an entire week off because it's spring break. I need to start to get something ready so that during I have that time off, I can really, because if I work with you on something, I'm gonna like edit it to perfection. I'm gonna make it crisp and clean and make sure it really celebrates how much you've done and how much you've helped me now that if we're gonna do this collab, holy cow, is that ever gonna be amazing. Dude, thank you, man. Thank you for even thinking about me, man. Dang, dude. Okay. I'll tell you what. Dude, here's what I need to do. Okay. The classic ADHD memory medication, writing on your hand. when I wake up in the morning. Then I'll remember to do it. Okay. Hell yeah, let's do it. If you want to talk more directly, I can email me. Yeah, actually, yeah. Actually, could we do that? That'd be really helpful. Um, Sometimes I sit down to type. Man, the other day I sat down to type this like way big message for setting up a support thing for my school that can get donations. I wrote this giant thing and then I accidentally I don't know what I tapped, but it like went back one page and it erased everything. I was so sad. How much money does the backlog of almost nothing. Almost zero, dude. I'm barely the only video that I ever see updated views on is my really old hikikomori video. Actually, that's I need to update that video because that's totally changed. The numbers are higher and higher and higher. And now there's like way different stuff going on with how it's handled. And the crazy thing now with hikikomori is there is hikikomori who are um like long-term 50, 60 years old and like I forget there's like a new name even for like they're considered like lifetime hikikomori. Like the parents are like 80 and 90 years old and the child is 50 to 60 years old and it's become like insane. Like there's been some recent events too where like the hikikomori person like their parents have gotten so old that now instead of the parents taking care of them as they are hikikomori, that hikikomori needs to do the opposite. Like they need to take care of um, the 80 or 90-year-old parent. And there's been situations now where the child has killed the parents because it's the first time they've had to face responsibility in their whole life since they never got a job. Um, but there's also been a situation. There was one recently where it wasn't. I shouldn't say recently. This was all the way back in like 2019, so that's not recent. There was a guy who attacked school children waiting for their bus because he said they were too loud. He was like this hikikomori guy who was like 40 or 50 years old, and he attacked school children waiting for the bus. And um, I think one of them died, and one of them lived, but had like severe injuries. And then um, the reason for attacking them, they were too loud while he was trying to watch like morning anime or something like that. And then there was a elderly couple whose son started to do the same thing. He was like 40 or 50 years old. They were like 80 or 70. And their son started to be like, I totally understand why that guy did it. It's so annoying when kids are like super loud outside. He started to complain. He's like, every day I'm trying to watch my TV or play my video games and they're so stupid and loud. The dad killed the son, turned himself into the police and said, I did it because he might end up like that other guy who just killed those kids waiting at the bus stop. And I think they just gave him like a suspended sentence, which just means he's like on house arrest for the next 3 years. And he's just kind of like, man, I had to do it. I didn't want little kids to be killed by my son who like never grew up. I met Unrusted back in like 2016 when I started my channel. I've always looked up to him. Oh, Dark. You're too nice, man, dude. Uh, I just really liked the first time I heard Dark, he was on the No Sleep podcast. They had him as like a guest speaker, and like I was like at that point I was like really losing faith in the No Sleep podcast. Like I just like no offense to them, but like I can't listen to it anymore. It's like so boring. Like I don't know what happened to that podcast, but like every story they choose is so boring now, and like they've got people who read on there who just are not I don't want to insult anybody that just like not people that are just not they're not made for it. They're not made for it. But when he came on there, dude, Chiptooth, haven't seen you in a while. Hisashi buddy. Um, but Dark came on there and I was just like, dude, what is this guy's voice is insane. Like the first of all, the stories he chose, like first of all, I remember you chose this one where a dad was getting like revenge on a guy. I don't know if he like murdered his daughter or like committed SA against his daughter. And it was like such a gruesome tale, but you told it in a way that was like you could imagine like classical music playing in the background while this horrendous sort of Reservoir Dogs murder scene took place. Like it was so like picture perfect and classic the way it was told that I was like, oh damn, No Sleep is back. And like I was like, damn, this is so good. And then I was like, wait, this guy did all of them and like chose the stories. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna follow Dark. I'm done with No Sleep. And then I just followed him from then on out. I just like kind of I wanted to see his channel really do good because I was like, this is like a I was like losing faith in a lot of creepypasta and like No Sleep stuff, and it kind of like his stuff like reinvigorated my love for that stuff. Like just I was like, it's told in a new way. He's got a new kind of cadence and rhythm and pace and like chooses stuff. Like even now, I'll go to your what do you call it? Like the infinite stream, the radio one that just like plays forever. I use that all the time to like relax. I still go to it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Thank you, Dark. Like, it's not just me. Okay. I don't want to sound like I'm being like picky, but like, yeah, I don't know what happened with them. Um, what happened with them? Like, it's bad. Like, that used to be kind of like my comfort podcast. And then it just became like, number one, when they do ads, like I totally understand when people need to put ads into stuff because let's be honest, like AdSense and all that stuff, they don't pay crap. So like having to insert an ad into your video, your podcast, whatever, anybody who's worked those knows why you have to do it. Um, but whoever the owner is of the podcast of No Sleep, he tries to do these like corny reads where it's kind of like imagine a dad joke, but like turned up to like level 100, where you're just like, oh, this is like beyond cringe. This is like almost like ear bleed levels of like, I don't want to hear it this way. Like you're just kind of like, what the heck? Like this this makes me not want to buy whatever they're advertising with the way they go about it. Like they'll make a whole long, unending script that's supposed to like match up to some of their stories, but it just becomes this like corny ad read where it's like, if you like scary woods, well, maybe you'd like scary magic spoon cereal. And you're like, what? Like this is making no sense. Why just say, why don't you just come in here and be like, hey, Magic Spoon sponsored us for today. It's great cereal. If you love it, like go buy some Magic Spoon. Um, like if people want to try it, they'll try it. But like you don't have to like make this like overly saturated cringe. Like it's what? And then on top of it, yeah, what Dark said, where like they choose stories. They choose stories. I'm just like, what is like the worst kind of story you can tell? And fight me on this if you want to. It's okay. Um, and maybe I'm completely wrong. I can't stand stories that just end. Like you're just kind of like, all right, this has got a good, all right, I like the characters, like the plot. Where is this going? Where is this going? And it's like, I guess we'll be in this darkness forever. And you're like, wait, what? Okay, and then like they'll do an ad read or something, and you'll be like, okay, but you're coming back after the ad read, right? I get to hear the rest of the story. And they're just like, no, that's it. That's just I don't know. It's like we went into the darkest library you've ever seen with books that were not meant for men's eyes to read, and we were left in the darkness. And no, that's it. It just ends right there. Like they went into a library. You're like, okay, but what? Or like the worst is like, okay, like romance is okay, and I don't care who the romance is with. Anybody can love anybody. I don't care about that. But don't focus every story about. There was like almost every story recently is like romance, some kind of romance. And you're just like, can we stop? I want to hear a horror story. Like romance in a horror story or a horror story that revolves around romance every once in a while is okay, but like every story, my boyfriend or my girlfriend, my fiance, and I decided to go on a long trip into the woods. And okay, can we just be like a group of friends? Like why? And then it'd always be like inconsequential. 10 more, dude. Dark, you're the best. Oh man. Dude, all these people, this is so awesome. I love seeing when people get this. Speaking of ads, I've grown wary of sponsorships on YouTube, even if my favorite YouTubers promote the products. Meadow, I understand completely what you're talking about. I have actually been offered stuff before, and I've turned it down because I just don't. Either I wouldn't use the product. It's not like I wouldn't use it because it's a bad product. It's just like I was offered like a camping sponsorship, and I'm like, I don't camp. So like, why would I push that on my like, yeah, but we'll send you anything for free and this contract. And I'd be like, thank you, but I don't camp. Like I can't give them a review. I'm not going to be taking this tent out or, like I can't. So I've had stuff like that. Unrested, family, love you all. I have to go back to the grid now. Dude, Chip, man, we miss you, bro. Now keep it up, man, dude. You're awesome. I love you back, man. And I always appreciate viewers like you. You guys, someone like you, Chip, you always keep me going, man. Especially when I was down during the hurricane, man. You kept me going with all your kind words and everything. I'll never forget it, dude. Darkness Prevails is a good scary stories channel. No. There's still good ones out there. Nature Nerd, don't get me wrong. Like, well, there was one I listened to for a while. It was called like the Hall, the Hall of Mirrors or something like that. That was really good. There was one called The Black Tapes. That one was really good. Every once in a while I discover one that I'm like, oh dang, this is crazy good. Sadly, some of the best ones, they always end because they're so good that they're kind of like, okay, we've read all the best stuff, the end. And you're like, well, I get it. I understand. Ugh. I understand that. The only sponsorship I've done that I regret is when I did a sponsor spot for an app called Dave, which is like a finance app. I regret doing that. I mean, but Dark, I think one thing people do need to understand is there's times we get duped. We get kind of tricked. We're like, we think it's one thing, and you have a minimum amount of time to sign a contract and get it. And if you don't, like, you miss out on the bag, right? So sometimes you're forced into like these situations where like, okay, look, I need to make this amount for this month, and the contract that I'm being offered, I sign it now or it's off the table. And you're like, what do I do? And you're like, okay, I'm going to look into it. You look into it. Everything seems legit. You try it yourself, seems legit. And then months and months later, like for example, honey. And I gotta say, dude, like honey, like that never made sense to me. When what Markiplier said, I'm not gonna come out here and be like, I'm some 4D chess playing genius, guys. I knew just like Mark did. It just didn't make sense. I was like, I hate extensions added on to my web browser. Why would this extension help me at all? And it's like, oh, well, it finds products and makes them cheaper. And it's like, how do you know that? Like, it's like you go to a store and they have two price tags on there and one says was $20 is now 15. And you're like, how do I know you didn't just put $20 on there and then put the 15 one right over it? Like, that's what I thought as soon as I heard the whole honey idea. It just doesn't make sense. Like, if it can find it, how hard is it for me to find a cheaper price? Another one I was offered that I turned down was BetterHelp. BetterHelp did not make sense to me. This was, they had like, they came out for a while, then they went away, and then they came back. Don't want to suggest that people should do with their money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean, Dark. Oh, okay. Um, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, there's some stuff you take on too, like, um, there's videos I made where later I was like, oh, that was kind of stupid. Like, I remember I did an interview with one guy who wanted to get like really big in Japan. And later I regretted doing the interview because I was just like, oh, this guy's like, I'll tell a story some other time. But there was a guy I did an interview with later. I was like, oh, this guy's not a good dude. I should have researched him better, learned more about him. And, I took the video down. He's not up anymore. But like, it wasn't that he was like outright a creep or anything like that. But he was definitely looking at Japan and YouTube as a way to just like make a quick buck. and that was like his whole thing. He wasn't doing it for like a passion. He wasn't doing it like, and like everybody's got to make money somehow, right? But like it felt like he was just like abusing the fans, the money, and the medium. And I was like, I should have never done an interview with him. I don't. Okay, if it sounds too good to be true, chances are it is. Yeah, yeah. The main reason I regret, Dave, is because it's basically a payday loan. Back when I was making $8 and I got a payday loan loops. Oh, I see, I see, I see. Was it Ryan Ballin? No, I've never interviewed Ryan Boundless. I still would do that. Um, I would still interview Ryan. I don't think Ryan's not out to make a bunch of money off of people. I don't think. I mean, he's done some stuff, but nah, the guy I'm talking about, he almost completely disappeared. I don't think he has anything on YouTube anymore. Um, it was a guy actually. Give me a break, man. Was also asked. He asked to get interviewed by him too, and give me a break, man. I was like, no. He was like really rude. He was just like, no, you're stupid. I don't like you. And when I told him I did the interview with that guy, he was like, oh, that guy asked me too. He's stupid. I told him I didn't like him. He's so blunt sometimes, really funny. And he was right. The guy was just he was just out for one thing and one thing only, just to like use YouTube as like a payday, like just only a payday, like not trying to like actually be creative, not actually. He just wanted to like pretty much grab a bunch of ideas that people had done and just be like, hey, do you mind if I just copy this and copy this and copy this? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, I guess. Like I remember he was like, can I do my own JFAC too? And I'd be like, yeah. I mean, I don't own JFAC. Like other people have done similar things. There's not like a copyright on it. And then like, pretty almost like I found later he had like taken footage from my video and just used it and just talked over and said like the same stuff I did. I was just like, what? I didn't mess it. I didn't stop him. I wasn't like, yo, what the hell, dude? I was just kind of like, oh, I'm not, I'm not gonna promote this because I made the video. I just didn't promote it. His channel died out. Um, Victor is a veteran. Well, Victor has a good BS alert. Like he can really tell. Like I've had him tell me stuff before where he's like, I wouldn't trust that guy, and I'm like, come on, Victor, be nice, dude. Like you don't know anything about him yet. And he's like, I don't know, but I just don't have a good feeling. I'd be like, okay, and then I would try to give the person a chance, and later I'd be like, Victor was right. Pauly D. Wait, are you? I know who you're talking about. The guy who looked like Pauly D. Yeah, dude. Lex, Rising Gaijin. I know who you're talking about. Hold on. To give you guys an idea about who they're talking about. Hold on. Let's see. Is this video still there? Hold on. Please still be there. Dude, yes. I think it's still there. Did he change the name? Wait, what is this? Oh, wait. Oh, no, this isn't. I found the logo, but apparently I didn't know this. He paid somebody to create the logo. Wow. Rising Gaijin. He had like a little spinning thing that showed up and then like 3 things would pop out of it like that. I thought he made that. I just realized now for the first time ever, he didn't even make that. He just like it looks like he didn't pay the person. The person made this a long time ago. Dang, that's funny, dude. Dang. Damn, I can't find. He has nothing on anymore. Rising Gaijin. He was the perfect loser back home playing Loverboy in Japan. Oh, he's current. Yeah, Victor does have a good BS meter. Like, dude, I know exactly who you're talking about, Mr. Voot. I'm pretty sure you're talking about Rising Gaijin. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me try one other thing. No, it didn't work. I tried to look him up under another name. Um, dude, I got stories about that guy, dude. Even used Tokyo. Yeah, he did, dude. He like, oh, he. And see, this is why Tokyo Sam doesn't trust anybody. People like this exist and like totally screwed him over. Yeah, Rising Guy. Yeah, dude. Ah, man. Yeah, this guy. Oh my God. He had so many insane stories he would tell us. Sorry, let me get this nasty plate out of the way of like chomped on bones. I'll come right back. I was gonna end it, but now I gotta talk about this. Oh, I did it. Cool. Oh man. Ah. There's a video I wanted to make about Japanese serial killer named the Rat Man. Have you heard of him? Oh no, I hope it's not the guy I think it is. Oh, okay, no, it's not the guy I thought it was. Okay, yeah, I can do that one. I know who you're talking about. I think. I'm pretty sure. Like, is it also the guy they call the Otaku Killer? Let me just make sure. I think we're thinking of the same person. I never heard him called the Rat Man though. Oh yeah, the Otaku Murderer. Yeah, that's what I've heard him called the most. But you're right. The next name underneath is the Rat Man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I do one on him. Okay. Well, we can definitely cover that. Okay. I'll tell you what. Dude, thank you for the suggestion. Um, well, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and start to work on something for you, and then you can tell me what you think. Actually, we'll get on the phone. We'll just get on the phone and we'll talk it over. We'll get it figured out. Dude, awesome. Yeah, definitely. Here's the only guy I never want to cover. There's a guy who hopefully I don't mess my whole stream up. He was like a cannibal killer and he like shot and ate this French woman in France and he got away with it. And because when they deported him back to Japan, Japan, I don't know what it was, some kind of loophole in the law where he couldn't um, suffer penalties, and he had super rich parents that got him out of the situation in France, and then he lived the rest of his life making like manga and writing stories about what he did, and I just felt like that was so disgusting. Like I don't like to see killers get money, like but this guy, it's still disgusting. He's a horrible monster, but um he's ostracized forever. I think he's actually out free, right? If I'm correct, because of the age of when he did it. Um, there's a picture of Rising Gaijin with two girls on Google Image. Wait, wait. Okay, we can at least show everybody that. And I don't want anybody to think for a second I'm bullying or picking on. If you met this guy even like he's so bad that one night Tikio Sam is staying at his place in Osaka after this guy stayed at his place in Tokyo, and he had saved some sort of explicit pictures on his computer of Sam. And when Sam was using his computer to find something or look for something, because obviously you're not carrying your computer everywhere, he found the pictures. Like he was like, "What the hell? What is this doing on your computer?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like, and he's like, "Dude, like, I sent you these in private." It was like something on Snapchat or something like that that he was supposed to delete. And he saved them on his computer, and Sam was like really upset. He was like, "Dude, delete these, dude. Don't keep these on your computer. This is messed up. Like, I sent you these in privacy and on Snapchat." And instead of being like, "Okay, so my bad, bro," and just deleting them, this guy Lex, his name's Lex, Rising Gaijin, kicked him out onto the street like in the middle of the night. It was like 2 a.m. And how do I know this? How do I know for sure? When I woke up in the morning, I had missed calls from Sam because he was like stuck on the streets of Osaka with no place to go. I feel awful that I wasn't able to answer, and he could have easily stayed at my place. I wouldn't have cared. Um, but I slept through it. I slept. I guess that's a weird hour for me. I'm never up at 2 a.m. And I found out later I had slept through it, and he was stuck at an internet cafe, and so I went to go pick him up and like find out what happened. I'm like, sorry, dude. Like I took him out for some food and stuff like that, and I listened to his story. I felt really bad for him. Like, what a betrayal. And that was the last time him and Lex were like best friends until that happened. And then like Lex just got crazier and crazier until like he disappeared into Tokyo somewhere, and I don't know if he's still in Japan. To give you an idea of what a like um I don't know what you'd want to say, like to get his visa, because you're probably wondering like how does a guy like that even get into Japan? He had a fake diploma from, I mean, a fake degree from a college printed and used that to get his work visa in Japan. So he was like, that's a really sketchy thing to do. You're really like tempting fate with something like that. I don't know if you could still get away with that today. But dude, the guy was an asshole. Like I can't. Like he told so many insane lies that you're just like, why? What was even the point of that? Like, I remember when I first met him, he told me he was a police officer back in America, and I thought like, oh, what made you stop being a police officer and come to Japan? Like, definitely earning an English teacher's salary in Japan is like definitely like 1/4 or even 1/6 of what a police officer. He said he was like a police officer in Texas, and I thought that's gotta pay way better than like what we make here, right? Oh, immigration don't check that. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It depends. To give you my honest opinion, is because he did it in Osaka. Tokyo would definitely. You're rude. That's okay. You can be rude as long as you're not. You can be rude to me. Just don't be rude to my viewers. That's the only thing I ask. Um, like in Osaka, like actual immigration doesn't really speak much English at all. So oftentimes they're scared to actually call the university and try and ask stuff like this. Tokyo, they would probably check it. Because I had plenty of stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. You can call, and they're like, oh, no. Quiet, quiet. Hazakashi. Like, no, that would be scary. I'd be embarrassed to call. And I'm like, oh, okay. But any of my references are there that if you want to confirm, because they'd ask you to be like, did you really graduate from here? And I'd be like, yeah, call FSU. This is the department for like admissions, and this is the part for registration. Yeah, we just wanted to ask. Oh, okay. But I think you could definitely get away with it in Osaka, Tokyo. I bet you they would call. People actually speak decent English there. Um, and then he ran off to Tokyo after that, and God, he would tell us such weird stories. So first of all, he told us he was a police officer in Texas, and then later I found out it was one other person who had come over with him, and he was like, a police officer. He's like, no, he was just like a security guard at a casino, and it was like, um, it was like, oh, dude, thank you for the donation, man, dude, you rock, dude, you're so nice, man. Um, You can sing your song. It's okay. Lemon character moving his head from left to right with his mouth wide open and red heart. Oh, okay. You use it. What is it? Okay. You use pwned. I didn't even know that still worked. Oh, okay. Crazy. Anyway, so what did I get? Somehow I got a piece of muffin on my shoulder. Um, that was the first lie he told us. And then, the craziest one was he started working for a company I used to work for a long time ago when I first got to Japan called Pigeon Hearts. And I know that sounds like the worst company ever, Pigeon Hearts, but it was a company for like teaching Hoikuen and Yoichien, which is like pretty much kindergarten and preschool level kids. It was an after school for them to learn English, and it was a pretty good company to work for. Their pay was kind of pretty low though, and like the hours were all weird because what they do is they would install like these schools into malls. So you'd be like stuck on weird mall hours. Anyway, that said, he got hired by them. And within like the first week or two that he got hired by them, he's like, guys, guess what? Like this was at the Hinami party that he came to, like, the cherry blossom party. Yeah. And he got there and he was like, so probably I'm moving up to like some executive level at Pigeon Hearts. And I was like, well, what? What are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, so like first week, man, CEO came to town, had a bit of a bonenkai for us teachers. And like, first of all, I'm thinking like, it's not even the time of year for bonenkai. What are you talking about? And then second of all, like he was like, and like the CEO was like, asked like how were we feeling about the school and stuff, and I put some ideas past him right away, like there's some things they do okay there, but I had some ideas for lessons, I had some ideas for structure of the company, and I started talking to him about this, and he was like, I like you got some great ideas, we need to talk more. So I don't know, I can't say too much because like I got to kind of keep it on the down low, it's kind of insider stuff, but I may be moving up to some sort of high level admin position quicker than I thought. And I had worked for the company, and you do get invited to like one of these like giant, stupid corporate meeting things. The CEO is a woman. I knew that right away. I met her. Like, I didn't meet her like person face to face or anything like that, but I met her when she like introduced herself at our giant like company meeting thing. It's kind of like a every year rally for like, oh, what kind of numbers are we going to do this year? It's a woman. She inherited the company from her father. Like it's pretty well known. I mean, it may be changed now. Don't get me wrong. If you go look up everything now, it may have changed. But at that time, it was a woman who had inherited it from her father. And I was just like, wait, a man? Because like when I worked there, it was the daughter of the ex CEO who had retired. And he was like, well, a lot's changed. Like you worked there in 2007, and it's like 2011 now. And I'm like, in 2 years, the daughter quit being CEO. Like I don't. And he's like, well, anyway, I can tell you, there's a big chance I'm moving up to admin. Like he was fired from the job like 2 months later for just like not showing up. I think he like showed up drunk or something like that. It was something stupid. And then like he just kept jumping from job to job and like having like he was one of those people that would talk like high level stuff like I don't know, guys, I may be taking this company over, and he'd be like, okay, sure. But then he would get fired, and his complaints would always be like unreasonable stuff. Like, you just be like, yeah, of course you got fired for that. What are you talking about? He'd be like, yo, three times only, 20 minutes late, and I get fired. And I was like, over how many years? And he'd be like, no, man, I mean, like, in like the first month. And I'm like, you were 20 minutes late three times in the first month of the job? He's like, yeah, dude, like barely ever. That's like almost every other week. And I'd be like, actually, that's like 3 weeks out of 4 weeks. What? And it's just like, Japan doesn't screw around like that. When you come to Japan, it's time to work. Like, what work time is, you get to work. Like 20 minutes late, you're missing like half of your first lesson you teach. So there's just like parents stuck there like, where the hell's our teacher that we just paid, individually $60 for this class? And he can't, like, he's not even here. Like, what's going on? Um, just a heads up. I think Kiko, Simon, and Give Me a Break are doing a 2 point this weekend, Sunday morning. So what time would it be? What time would it be? Would that be like 9 o'clock my time? 9 a.m. Dude, I want to join. I want to go. Um, yeah, but like, it was always crazy stories like this. Or like, I forget what the one job he got was, where he had to know like kanji. He had to know how to write kanji. Like, yeah, dude, check it out, man. I'm doing some kanji for this one English company. And I was like, they're asking you to do kanji? He's like, yep, yep, yep. I've already learned quite a bit. Check it out. I'm doing like Duolingo. And it's like, Duolingo does not teach you, like, it would teach you like mountain, river. Like, that's the kind of Yama, Gawa. Like, that's the kind of, and like, he'd be like, yeah, I'm moving up, man. Writing entire books for kids here. Like, it's the kind of stuff that you would almost think is like a comedy routine, that it was like so unbelievably out there that he would think like, this was everything this guy did. It was nuts. And it got so bad. It got so bad that even TKO Sim was like, dude, I don't talk. That guy's crazy. I don't talk to him anymore. And I'm just like, dude, that used to be like your best friend. He's like, dude, I don't know what happened. He got to Japan and he just became a weirdo. Like, well, okay. Like, that's a reverse situation where Sam was just like, yeah, screw that guy. He's insane. I just thought like, holy shit, dude, that guy's got to be, he's got to be really bad. The weird thing was too, is like he would, I don't know. Nah, I should stop. It was weird, man. I got so many more stories about that guy. It's because every time I did a Hinami party, he would like cut in on it and be like, yo, I'll take this over. I got this party. And I'd be like, all right, well, I mean, like, I'm going to do the invites and everything like that. I'm going to make a video about it. And he'd be like, no. What people want to come to is the after party. And he'd set up like this, like the after party would just be like, he gets a bus to go to Sam and Dave's. uh, his Pauly D haircut, LOL. Dude, he was like so proud of that. Like, he was like, Scott, how many times a day you get mistaken for a movie star? And I'm like zero times a day. Like, nobody thinks I'm anybody. Um, like once every 100 years, somebody says, hey, unrested. That's about it. And he's like, every day, man. Pauly D. They don't even know. I've told people I'm Pauly D and they don't even know, man. It's sick, bro. I get into so many places. I mean, I'm DJing this weekend at a club. You want to come? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm not really in the club scene. Oh God. His podcast is still there? Oh God. Oh dude, I gotta listen to that. I think I was on one of his things. Like, he did one thing where he like interviewed me about something. And I was just like, yeah, sure, man, sure. Oh yeah, the picture. Sorry. Okay. I spelled Gaijin wrong. Sorry. It's my first time typing. There we are. Images. What? It's showing me like wrestlers. Okay, hold on. What am I entering in wrong? Rising Gaijin. The weird thing is, I don't know his last name. I don't think anybody does. No, still no. What did you? Someone said they entered in something to see it. Baka Gaijin and friends. Okay. Ryzen Gaijin Lex podcast. No, Lex Friedman. Damn it. All right, hold on. It was not Lex Friedman, by the way. Dang it. Lex Friedman takes over everything. He's messed up my whole thing. The Gaijin trips. All right, hold on. Dude, I'm sure I can find this. Give me a second. Give me a second. uh, hold on. Come on, show more. See more. There we go. Dang, Lex Friedman, you've taken over everything that says Lex on it now. I can't find anything. Okay, what else could I enter in? I just put, okay, you only put Rising Gaijin. Oh, okay. Maybe that'll change it. Hold on. Oh, I found it. Oh my God. I wonder why, oh, dude, I found a couple pictures. All right. I don't want to drag these onto my computer. This is going to be a curse if I do. Okay. Give me a second. Oh, window capture, properties. There we go. There you go. This guy right here. Yeah, this is the one with the two ladies next to him. Oh, man. Okay. And there you go, man. Is there any other ones? 2.5 guy. Yeah. 2.5 Gaijin. I don't know what that is. Rising Gaijin. You're too hot to have depression. What? Yeah, dude, this is the guy right here, man. What do you think, ladies? Quite the killer, if I say so myself. Is that it? Is that all? Oh, wait. The Rising Gaijin podcast. Oh, no. Look at this big loser here. Lame. Oh, there we go. There he is. How old do you think he is? He's like 3 years older than me, if you can imagine that. Like, this is a really old picture. This is like, I don't know how old that is. It's pretty old. That's probably like 2013. I was shocked when I found that out. He's 3 years older than me. Oh my God. Is there any other pictures of him? This is the guy who, like, Tikio Sam would tell me about him. Like, okay, so the crazy thing is he actually has a lot of talent when it comes to filming. He filmed videos with like camera angles back in like early 2009, 2008 when YouTube was still coming together. He had like a really good camera. And he filmed like really good. Like he had like techniques that I was like, damn, this guy makes some sick videos. And he filmed all about getting ready to come to Japan, and it was like really well filmed. And he recorded good sound over top of it and everything like this. And Sam would talk him up all the time. Sam would be like, dude, he's got like a lot of talent, and like you can see from his videos, like he knows what he's doing. And I thought, like, damn, he's right, dude. Like this guy's stuff does look pretty good. And then he only made like I think like 1 or 2 videos. That was it, and never made another video again. Like, I think way later he made a video advertising the Hinami party because he had an after party attached to it. And then he just like gave up on YouTube completely, which I don't get it. And it was, oh man. Yeah, dude. And then when he finally got to Japan, um, I met him. He told me all these like weird stories about like all these jobs he used to work that were like high level, high paying, like executive level jobs that I'm just kind of like, so then why Japan? Like, I was thinking like, uh, what is what is the connection to Japan then? Why would you come here and like earn $2,000 a month like us other, you know, uh, English teachers? Like, what's the point when you're earning that much? Who are all these other people? Who are these guys? Oh, this is some like other country. Oh, okay. I was like, what is? Okay, this has nothing to do with Lex. I mean, Rising Gaijin. Um, and then eventually I asked Sam. I was like, Sam, if he's like worked all these amazing jobs, like what's his purpose for coming to Japan? And he's like, Scott, dude, none of those are real. Like he didn't do any of that. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, what did he tell you the cop story? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, he was just like a security guard. Like that's it. And I was like, oh, but what about like talking to CEO? And he's like, don't ever believe that stuff. And this was his best friend. Sam was like his best friend at the time. And he was like, yeah, I mean, like, he films pretty good and stuff, but he talks a ton of BS. And I thought like, oh, okay, that's weird. That's like kind of crazy level weird of BS. And then afterwards, it just got crazier and crazier. Like his stories got like more and more outlandish to like he's talking about stuff in Japan where I'm just like, well, that's not even how that works. That's very strange. Um, and then he eventually had a falling out with Sam, disappeared into Tokyo. I don't know where he is today. No one's heard anything from him for like ages. So, you know, um, good luck, sir. I don't I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. Anyway, why is he staring at me? Oh, I think because he's got the look, right? He's got those DJ Polly eyes. I think the only Polly he had anything in common with was Polly Shore. Um, anyway, he made a video where he said he met this cute girl, then people started mocking him because the girl was a bit big. He deleted the video. No. Oh, man. I feel bad for the girl, dude, not him. What? Oh, man. Can't people just let a man love a woman of size? What is wrong with them? Damn, that's mean as hell, dude. The problem is that he had no reason to lie. It was just to lie to lie. Yeah, that was what's so weird. Like yeah, man, that was so weird. I mean, I came out to Japan because I couldn't get a damn teaching job. And I was like, I went there on my last $2,000, dude. That was it, dude. Um, I was a loser and a half back in 2007. I was so immature back then. Oh my God. I hope he's okay. Play a podcast. I need to listen to because he would say some stuff that like if you think Sam was off the cuff, like Sam says inappropriate things at inappropriate times. Lex was even worse. Like Lex had like no sense of like I would have to listen to the podcast first because he might say stuff that I'm just like, yo, what? Like the way he would talk about women, I was just deplorable. I can't condone any of the stuff he would say. Um, looks like a total rising liar. You guys are mean. No, it's okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. That was it's surreal. It's surreal. Dan Lee, the guy you've seen come on here before, Dan knows him just as well because Dan was at every single Sakura Blossom party, and he'll still talk about. He'll be like, "Was that guy real?" Like, we'll still talk about him to this day because it's just like I don't. I don't know, man. It's just like a living cartoon. That's all. You you ever met somebody who's never gotten a tattoo but wears like Ed Hardy and Affliction shirts like nonstop and talks about all the tattoos they're gonna get one day? That he would do that all the time too. That always cracked me up. Like people who wear like a ton of like tattoo based shirts but like never get a tattoo and talk about the tattoo they want to get. Like and he would talk about like a full bodysuit. He'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna get like dragon up here and then like all the koi swimming up the waterfall here.
then just like a big, like, Mother Maria and like a cross back here, and then the two dragon heads right here, just like the Yakuza have with like the waves and everything, like full body suit. I'm going hardcore.
I'd never seen the guy get a tattoo. Like I never saw. I mean, like, and it is fine. It is totally fine to talk about what you're gonna get, even something small. Um, you know, yeah, that's cool. I'm excited to hear about what people want to get too. But like, I just be like, so when, like, but when are you gonna get it? I'm working on it. I'm right now. I'm checking out portfolios, and I was like, why don't you just go to Benny? Benny's the guy who did my sleeve. I always point to the wrong side because I'm reversed. And Benny's like amazing. Like he'll do anything you're talking about. And you're like, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. And apparently, like he went to go see Benny, but then never showed up for the appointment. And the crazy thing is, too, if you do that, like you have to give him $50 to reserve the appointment. If you don't show up, he just keeps the $50 and you lose money. And like Benny, Benny told me, he said like the guy comes in, pays $50, then the next day I go out to there's this place called Triangle Parks in Kakukoen out in Amimura, where his shop used to be when he worked at Chopsticks Tattoo. And he said, I go out there to eat my lunch every day. And sure enough, I go out there to eat my lunch. And guess who's there? It's Lex. And he's like, hey, brother, forget something? He's like, oh, shit, my tattoo. And then he told him some kind of story. He said, I never heard this story before. This is from Benny. And Benny said he told him a story about how one of his like uncles was like a NASCAR racer and was going to wire him $2 million pretty soon. And he's like, all right, buddy, better grab those bags. Like he was like, don't forget to grab that bag when you come back to my shop. But you just, lost $50 today by not showing up. And he was like, yeah, don't worry, man. When that money comes in, I'm coming. He just never showed up for the tattoo. Like just weird, like it's surreal, almost like comedic level of interactions. Like I don't get it. There's just people you just can't wrap your head around some stuff. Uh You wanted to be Pauly D, so of course he wore Ed Hardy. Oh, I didn't even know that. Did Pauly D always used to wear Ed Hardy stuff? He snapped once because someone told him he looked like the Apocalypto main villain. He does. Wait, Pauly D snapped? Oh, I don't hate him, but I wouldn't date him. Yeah, I don't know. It was just what a surreal situation. Anyway, sorry, I ranted on too long. I don't want to spread hate or anything like that. It was just such a he is like a he is a character. Like other J vloggers and I have talked about this before. Just like we're so confused about what his he definitely looked like the villain of True Crime Video, to be honest. It's just such a weird, surreal moment in J vlogger history. I thought about making a video about him once, but he just doesn't have enough history on like actually making videos. But he was known within the scene. Like he hung out with like a ton of us. Like he met all of us, and he did have like a 2 or 3 like really good videos on YouTube for like a long time ago. But I don't know why he gave it up. I don't understand that either because he was like decent at filming. He was really decent at it. I don't get it. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for a good laugh tonight. Thank you for bringing that up. Mr. Boot, you brought it up, not me. Okay. So all the blame is on you. I'm just joking. You guys are awesome. Peace out to Dark. Dude, what an awesome guy. Dark. I gotta get something set up with him soon. Um, and we'll have to cover that serial killer thing that he's talking about. We should do a couple live and listen where we can talk to. Okay. We can do that. Hey man, Scott, your email on your channel. Oh, hey, I just got your. I uploaded some artwork and an animation. Shoot. Okay, all right. Yeah, thank you, Jonah. And here you go. Anytime any of you need to reach me, the official unrested at gmail.com. Yeah, anytime. Yeah, night, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll definitely be on here tomorrow. I'm going to be doing the TTRPG with my PC group. We got a big campaign to get into tomorrow. Um, but yeah, again, guys, I love you all. You guys are awesome. Thank you for a great night. Feels so much better to be back, not sick, not coughing, and have my voice back. Next stream we react to is podcast, please. Okay, how about our Sunday stream? We can try and do that. Does that sound okay? Let me listen to it a little bit first so that like I make sure it's not extremely explicit or has like his sexcapades on it or something like that. Ugh. Um, but until then, you should do a video on the Om Shinrikyo. I've covered a little bit of it before. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that. I could do a little bit on that. But cool. I'll try to send those sample songs. Yeah, please, not winter, dude. I'm sorry I've been out of contact for so long. The last 2 weeks have been insanity. But again, love you guys all. You guys are awesome. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow and have a new video up tomorrow and a members video on Sunday.